Like if I was just a head that was talking. I sound
You
like
mean like the augur of the obscure that's over there?
Yes, talking head.
Like the Jester's Festival, Cadwell, Memento.
Wouldn't that be the betrayer? Because technically, wasn't the betrayer just the talking head?
Yeah, that's true.
Well, not when he got the name.
The funny Cadwell.
Okay, I think everybody's volumes are actually pretty good. It's always hard to tell because I feel like my computer corrects it, because then when I listen to it back later, will be a little bit different. But right now, everybody sounds pretty even.
Okay.
Just to check, I'm audible on the stream?
Yes, you are.
Perfect.
Everybody was coming through nice and clear, so I'm gonna leave us at the volumes we are and go into screenshot mode.
Nice
and then I will...
Nice and clear like banana pudding.
Yes, nice and clear like banana pudding. Oh my goodness.
Crisp like a cold winter's morning.
Let me send our tweet. Were you checking your audio just then, Never?
No, I'm just pulling the stream up.
Well, that's what I mean. I just want to make sure we didn't have echo in one of our streams.
I turned the volume down. I was just getting it up so I could have chat.
Cool. With tree show.
There we go.
Pre-show.
Why am I not seeing the chat?
I don't know.
I see the welcome to the Snugpod Cast chat room, but I don't see where I can actually type into the chat. Am I logged into ours? I might be logged into ours.
You're all so good at furnishing. I'm jealous.
Oh, that's all Gwen.
Dunka.
She's amazing.
You have to visit my houses in-game sometime.
I could totally do that. I actually have my laptop with me this week, so I could do that.
We'll give it a little turn so you can... Whoops, I'm stuck behind the flower wall. But you can see all of our fancy things that Gwen has put in.
I don't have ESO Plus anymore, so that was a challenge.
What? Wow, good on you.
There we go. Yeah, I had to renew my PlayStation Plus. I literally had a notification that it was going to auto renew tomorrow. Yeah. But when I tried to get on, it popped up a thing. It said, you don't have PlayStation Plus. I was like, it's going to auto renew tomorrow. So I should have it and it should auto renew and there should be no overlap. But I had to go and approve the payment on it. I was like, okay, whatever.
Do you all have any cosplay, like hashtags or anything that you use that you would like me to include in this tweet?
Since they're usually pretty useless
yeah,
in general.
It's true.
Especially on Twitter,
Yeah.
Or X.
Okay. Then I will just do the standard ones that I do. And then Gold Road. And then...
How much will y'all hate me if I just sneeze really hard into the microphone?
Quite a bit. I'd prefer if you muted. No, I'm just kidding.
I did mute just now because I did sneeze.
Oh, bless you.
You will hate it because your microphone gets all grimy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is for me. I'm trying to protect you.
Yeah. I did the whole...
I have a removable pop filter on my mic, so... Well...
I have a removable pop socket. Does that count? I'm just kidding. I don't actually use those, but...
You're silly.
Yes, I am. Somebody has to be. You two are so serious all the time.
Oh,
I'm Lord. I am serious by default.
This is true.
And cold-blooded.
We're just grumpy all the time. Actually, I'm more prone to heat than to cold. I love working in cold conditions, but hot conditions you can leave me at home.
Yeah.
Says the guy who actually works with fire.
Yeah, right. Says the man who stands in front of a forge. I don't know.
I am.
Let me tell you, it's easier to work at a forge or welding in winter because you not have outside heat and heat in front of you, but you have only heat in front of you.
Oh my gosh, guys! Remember that time that I did the entire thing from my account? Ah!
Oh yeah? Yeah, did you
delete.
accidentally just...
Yeah. Hold on. I saved
Proud
it.
of you.
I'm just gonna move it over. Just gonna move it
Proud of
over.
you.
So good. Way to go, me. Only the most professional.
Aren't we all?
Oh boy. I tell ya.
It's always scary when you're at work and suddenly you have the realization you are the professional now. And
Yeah,
it's scary.
right. Right. Okay, now I tweeted it from the proper account.
I see
So
that.
I just realized that like we're finding out things. So like you and Gwen have the whole cosplay thing in common, and then you and I have the forge thing in common. What is it that you forge?
Usually armor stuff.
See, I forge pizzas.
Yep, there was going to
That's
be a
actually
never
true.
somewhere.
That's actually true.
I stand next to an oven and cook pizzas. You know.
Fine.
All right, we are good. Tweet is sent. Whatever.
I'm
people are
going to
ready.
grab something to put the juice from my nose into.
That's
No job,
disgusting.
please. Take a handkerchief.
Oh my god. Disgusting.
Some,
You see what
some
we-
alchemical concoction.
He needs something. Anything. He's so
I
honest
need a
with us.
Dayquil just listening to all
Potion
of
of
you
pure
guys.
disease.
Oh, bless.
Yeah, I think you guys are free to use that expression anytime you want. You've got excess nose juice.
Goodness.
Hey, we're all friends here, right?
Right.
All right. Is everyone ready?
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I shall count down then. Welcome, everybody, to A Snugpod Cast. We've got a pretty special episode today. There is 2 times 2, which is 4. There's 4 of us here, but not the usual 4. I've got God Crazy back soon in the Snugpod with me. How are you?
I'm good. I'm excited that we have someone new joining us.
Yes. We've got Gwen the Bard joining us via Sigic Portals or something like that. What's up?
Good, I'm here. At least in voice.
We could hear your astral projections or something like that.
If I sound echoey, it's because it's coming out of the auger over there in the corner.
That explains it.
That's okay. Everything sounds a little echoey in my head at the moment, you know. So, and also we've got a very special guest joining us. We've got Ryman. What's up, bud?
Hello. Hi. Just a bit tired. Not here in person, but in spirit.
This is true.
I'm off at a really important mission off in Skyrim, but I found some psychic thingamajigs, so I can talk to you.
You just like walked up on a portal and you're just shouting through it. Did anybody hear me?
Exactly right. How did you
In
know?
Skyrim? It sounds more like you found a Dwemer contraption somewhere.
Yeah, he's probably in a Dwemer ruin somewhere, speaking into the ether or something. He's using the void to communicate. I don't know, something.
How did
Awesome.
you know I'm in a Vangean cell?
Oh, look at that. That's what it sounds like to pronounce the words correctly.
It's easier in German, believe me.
Amazing.
We should have made a list of Dwemer words for this evening.
That should have been like a fast round at the end. Like, pronounce these 5 words.
I
I
lose.
can always come back.
This is true. Maybe we'll have you on another time, and then we'll do it then.
Well,
Amazing.
we've been talking before, pre-show and whatnot, and finding out all the things we have in common, and we've also learned that we're all kind of sick, apparently, too. So that's been fun. Except for you, Gwen. Did you say you were sick too?
Nope, I'm fine.
Oh, well, Gwen's fine. So 3 out of the 4 of us are sick. 2 out of the 4 of us are here, but 4 out of the 4 of us are going to have a good show. How about
It's
that?
because she's the healer.
She's,
I'm pretty sure I'll be blessed by Perrier by the end of the week.
No.
Now I'm fine.
No.
she's been using her self-heals only again, dang it.
Then let me beforehand bless you, as you have seen.
Yes. Oh, I'm so excited to talk about everything. This is great.
Well, let's jump in. I guess we'll just go down in order of our notes here. Gwen, what have you been up to?
Tons of Tales of Tribute. Almost have reached my goals in Infinite Archive to get the giant portal-looking thing. I need to play I think it's 20 more, kill 20 more bosses. That's it. Been playing Oblivion because Gold Road's coming out. So I did not get all the nostalgia for Morrowind, so I'm trying to do the Oblivion. So I have instead of reverse nostalgia, it's more nostalgia, but it's been a whole time. And I finally found lockpicks, so I'm excited to keep going. And then I tried writing a fan fiction, but then the other person who uses my computer accidentally deleted it, so maybe I should do an audio version instead. I also tried a tipsy trial, but I had tea. There was no tipsy for me in that trial, but it was still fun. It's always fun playing with the lore seekers. Never, what have you been up to?
I killed a dragon. It was a big, nasty dragon, but I killed it. It actually wasn't too nasty. It was very dependent upon getting help from another dragon. I went back and finally finished up. I've been trying to get through some old quest logs, old zone quests that I haven't done, and I finished up Northern Elsewhere, which I did out of order, so I had to travel back through time to not kill a dragon that I could kill later, but I'd already killed, so it's kind of confusing. But yeah, so I finished Northern Elsewhere. I've got both of those done, and I started the quest for Necrom, so maybe I could try to get done with it before the expansion comes out. I don't know if that'll happen or not, but I haven't had a ton of time to play, but that's what I've been doing when I have had time to play. And I actually jumped in here and made notes. And you can tell that because I wrote in the notes that I made notes again.
That pesky Akatosh. Good thing you were in the land of the dragons there. Could help you do all of that stuff out of order.
Yeah. I was like, wait a minute. How did I not kill? I was like, oh, wait a minute. It's because I did these out of order. I think I fight him later. Yeah. So.
All wibbly wobbly, timey-wimey stuff.
Yeah.
Yes.
Crazy.
Yes.
You.
What have I been up to?
Yes.
My turn?
It is.
Am I next?
You are.
Boy. I have not had a whole lot of time because I leveled up in life. It was my birthday on Mother's Day, actually, last Sunday. So I was busy that day. We did a little staycation, which was pretty fun, but I didn't unfortunately have a whole lot of game time during that because we have been doing real life housing on my house. We've been putting a new porch on, which has been a learning curve. So I guess I've been leveling up my woodworking skill as well. And then I was also away on a work trip, so I was gone for a few days to Washington, D.C., and that was kind of a whirlwind, and then came back and, have been prepping for show and doing some stuff like that. Been doing some editing. I did run some Infinite Archive today, a little earlier, with Minway Pro to do the daily endeavors, which was kind of fun. Other than that, it's just been like taking care of one project at a time, in game and out of game. So I wish I had more time. I'm like in the process of editing stuff and creating new stuff and trying not to forget things that I'm coming up with. So it's been a little bit of a process lately. So hopefully some of that stuff can get actually out to the people soon. But
So,
yeah.
you mentioned that you leveled up in life, and I just had this thought just now. You know how sometimes people like to find an age that they just stick to? They're just like, I'm going to be forever 28 or whatever.
What's my forever level?
No. Well, for all of us, like, can we just say when we get to 50, we no longer age, we just gain CP?
Absolutely.
Oh no!
I'm on board.
My
Yeah,
goal.
I'm totally up for
My
this.
goal is 165. I want to be Abner Tharn. I want to be older than Abner Tharn. That's my goal.
Oh, yes.
Well, you could get there at CP. You could be way more than that. So,
It's true. 2300 CP, here I come.
yeah. I
Let's
want
just see to survive to 50 first.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm getting there. I'm working my way towards it. Be a few more years at least, but
Yeah, I hit level 38, so, I'm doing okay.
yep. Well,
Oh, goodness.
did you have anything else crazy?
No, that was it. I'm just really excited to be here with you guys tonight.
I
It's
feel
been
like
a couple weeks.
I feel like I'm already forgetting someone. Like there's someone else that needs to tell us about what they've been up to.
Oh my gosh, there is.
What I've been up to. Do you really want to know? Yeah. I'm not playing that much content at the moment because time and other games, and because I've played a lot of ESO after Amsterdam. So the hype was real at this point. So I just might have overdone it a bit. I've started a new character then, Wood Elf, Dragon Knight, and I got her to level 50 2 weeks back. And since then, just daily endeavors and the daily crafting quests and writs and stuff. And I'm farming the silent halls at the moment for these bits you can find for the costume. That's most of my ESO time in real life. I'm currently working on my Imperial armor, and that takes up a lot of brain and work power besides actual work. So I'm leveling up my blacksmithing and armor working at the moment. So yeah, that's what I'm up to at the moment.
Awesome. I never thought about it, but I suppose I could say that I'm a master provisioner.
Yeah. Fair.
Yeah, that's technically true. You are technically a master at provisioning. Gwen's probably technically a master at tailoring and
Yeah.
clothing. She says as she laughs into the mic.
Ryman's
When
seen
you're
my
working
stitches.
with
We both know
electronics,
I'm not.
is this enchanting?
Yeah, I was gonna say we need somebody to do enchanting. I don't know.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean,
if someone works electronics in cosplay.
do we know anybody from any magical places that could do enchanting?
Don't look at me. I dance in a circle all day. Oh my goodness. You work in a castle. Yeah, I know. I see you typing in the notes. Oh goodness.
All right.
Oh man. But I think we should ask because you just mentioned it. Like we have Raymond here and he's been doing all of these cool things and he was at Amsterdam with Gwen.
Yep.
And a lot of people know you as like the Nord Hero for your Nord Hero cosplay, but you do a lot more than that. So yeah, we're just excited to have you here with us.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
All right. Well, we've got some questions. Do we want to jump into those now? I assume, right? We're just going down the list.
Go ahead.
Sure, let's do it.
All right. Well, first question we've got for you. Tell us a little bit about how you got into ESO and how you came across the Lore Seekers.
How I got into ESO is easy to say because I played Skyrim a ton since it came out, and then I heard, oh, there will be a Elder Scrolls Online. So I registered for the beta, and I played 2 of the public stress test betas, and I think it was the only online game I played at this time. Took me a while to get back into it because some private problems with. My mother didn't like me having a PC at that time, so I couldn't play for I think 3 years. And then I got back into it. I got really back into it when I met Kalia, my girlfriend slash fiancé. And this was Elsewhere, with the Elsewhere chapter.
Okay.
And since then, I have played basically every day. Sometimes more, sometimes less. Yeah. And Lore Seekers I found when I wanted to learn more about lore stuff, and I found the Lore Seekers on Spotify. Gyps and Cash were my entertainment for quite a while at work. So, and then they mentioned they have a guild, and I was like, oh cool, don't have a guild, so I joined them. And yeah, that's how I got to the Lore Seekers. And then when I spent more time at the Discord, I found out that they were really nice people, and I wanted to stay there. Basically this.
That's awesome. So did you find the Lore Seekers podcast like kind of from from day one?
Not from day one, but let's put it like this: I was listening to them when they were still actively making episodes.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah, I got lucky and just happened to search for an Elder Scrolls podcast, and like I think we're about to start a show, like preview was up, and I was like, oh sweet. So yeah, that was good times. That's awesome. I'm sorry, the notes are distracting. I don't know who's typing
Only
that, but
you pointed out.
All right. So, as we've already kind of mentioned, you've got a little bit of a reputation for doing some cosplay stuff. How'd you get started doing that?
There's a funny story. I don't know if you know the game Deponia from a German publisher. I'm doing reenactment, and during doing this, I got some shoes. Those shoes are those typical pirate-y shoes, and those shoes are the exact same ones one of the characters in one of the Deponia game, or in the Deponia games, the main character wears. So I said to myself, I got those shoes. It can't be that hard to make the rest of the outfit, really. It was hard, and it was really, really, really bad. I still have it, but I will never wear it, or even if I can avoid it, touch it again, because it's so bad. But I made my very first cosplay out of an old pirate costume, some medieval leather shoes, and some random stuff I bought for this. And it somehow stuck. My next cosplay was Solaire. It was based on my fighting armor for reenactment. And it was way better with a hand-forged helmet and bracers. And from there on, it was just a downward spiral, really. just one craziness after the other. Gone Crazy Back Soon could be my name, really. So
Amazing.
It was just like, oh, I could do that. And I think that's the start for many cosplayers. I think Gwen can attest to this.
Yep. You never get to see a photo of my first cosplay.
It exists on the internet, unfortunately. Can't get rid of it.
Oh no.
It's still on my Instagram somewhere.
Now you both
my
have me
first
curious.
It's Rufus from Deponia, and it's really, really bad.
Oh my goodness.
But
hey,
I can
you
still
gotta
do that voice.
you gotta start somewhere, right?
Yeah, that's true. But most people start at a place and do it better. My cosplay is literally held together with staples.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it was bad because I couldn't sew.
Oh man.
But I've not been at a convention without a cosplay since then. Since this first Gamescom 2017? I think it was 17.
Wow. My goodness. So
2017 was your first cosplay?
I think so. I have to look it up. Give me a moment.
Wow.
That's a pretty big learning curve for such a short period of time.
That's what I was just gonna say. That's pretty impressive that you've like learned so many skills or been able to kind of hone in or perfect, how you build your stuff in such a short amount of time.
Whereas I'm always of the opposite opinion. I think I'm a really, really slow worker and learner. To be fair, I'm not really productive as a cosplayer. I take a lot of time for my stuff, so one cosplay a year at max.
It's better when you take time because then there's normally rewearability.
Yeah.
That's true. That's really true. You can't say a lot about my stuff, but not that it's not durable.
It is definitely durable.
Given that it's all metal.
Yeah. I was
That
gonna
and I
say.
remember hitting you with that sword. It is pretty durable.
By the way, if you come to Germany this year, I will bring swords.
Oh,
Oh, I can't come this year. Next
I
year.
know.
Next year I'm coming. I
We need to-
can't!
we need to plan.
You say you were going to bring swords?
Yep.
Is that allowed?
Yep.
Yeah, no, it's cool. In
me,
Europe, you're allowed to use metal.
So amazing.
Wow.
We don't get that in the
I am
US.
allowed.
I'm so jealous, and it's so cool. His props are amazing.
Because I earned the trust of the Bethesda Germany people, I am allowed to carry around my steel battle axe at the ESO Tavern.
That's
The
incredible.
one I used at a stage in Amsterdam.
And
is
your
so
spear,
cool.
your Hercene spear.
Yeah, this was metal too. That's
Yeah.
my cosplay quirk. Everyone has his or her thing, and for me, I make my stuff out of metal and leather. So I've been dubbed a LARPer before, but I'm not.
Wow.
I just enjoy working with metal more than working with foam.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That is so cool. So you mentioned you do like one cosplay a year pretty much. So how long does it typically take you or how much time do you spend out of that year on certain portions of your outfits like the Nord Hero or Hair Scene? Because those are the two that I think probably people really like would recognize you for because of a lot of the photos that you post and things like that from the events.
Yeah. The Nord. I was starting the Nord during COVID, or before COVID, and during COVID I had the biggest amount of time to make because I was out of work. It still took 1.5 years. About, let me say, 600 to 800 hours.
You say for the Nord Hero?
Yeah.
Only for the Nord Hero, yeah.
Wow.
The axe alone, the steel axe, took me about 50 hours.
Wow. That is
Because it
some
was
dedication.
literally a grinding job. The whole thing was welded, and I had to remove every single weld in a way that it doesn't look crappy.
Oh my goodness.
I had to
Wow.
redo several parts of the Nord. The one thing I said on stage at Amsterdam was that my Nord is crossbow safe because I shot it. One of the pieces I had to remake because that was one of the complicated pieces, and I was so angry that I did this crossbow test on it because I was like, I spent nearly 10 hours making this thing. No, it doesn't fit. Yeah. Okay. Redo.
Oh my goodness.
So you got angry at it and you literally shot it.
Yeah.
Did the arrow pierce?
Because I have anger management issues apparently.
Did the arrow pierce it?
Barely. Like the tip was poking out about 1 centimeter.
Oh my goodness.
That's some durable armor.
That's pretty impressive. You're probably one of the only people that could say that you can actually take your cosplay to an actual fight.
Probably, yeah. I guess I could.
People show
Fun
up.
fact:
Go ahead.
medieval medium grade steel is about the tensile strength and durability of. Huh?
Uh-oh.
Ah, okay.
There we go.
My
I
phone
was
was making something really weird.
like, did we lose him?
Sorry.
No, that's okay.
No. is about the same tensile strength and toughness than mid-grade medieval armor steel.
Wow.
Source is Todd's workshop. They did some tests with bow and arrow against armor. So my mild steel armor is about the same durability as medieval mid-range armor.
Wow.
That's wild.
That is really cool.
And for Hirsino, just skipping the rest of the North for the latter questions, Hirsino took 3 months. I don't know how I pulled it off in this short of a time, but I did. It's almost no metalwork, it's completely leather and warbler, because the head was given to me by a friend in exchange for a fork of Horripilation replica I made.
Nice.
And I cut off the antlers. They were really tiny before the points of the antlers of my Hirsine head are the old antlers that were on the head. So I made those antlers enormous. They have a steel core, so they don't bend under their own weight.
Wow. Wow.
And the eyes glow.
Yeah, that is so cool. Amazing. Amazing
And
stuff.
as I said, I don't know how I managed to do it in 3 months, but I did. And I'm really proud of it. But I can't wear it at the moment because I have to exercise more.
Oh. Well, I think
I was
they
sick
all look
at
great.
the beginning of the year, so I couldn't exercise, and I'm not as toned and slim as I wish to be as Hirsine, because he is. You know how he is. You have seen in the March of Sacrifices.
Right. Goals, right? We all have our goals.
Exactly.
Oh my
Yeah, I'm working
goodness.
on trying to get into shape to be the slowed.
Stop.
Oh,
Oh gosh. No. No, never. No.
if you start
That's
to
why.
poison all of Tamriel again, I will come for you. You know that.
That's what I was gonna say. I was like, that's
Yeah, I
why
should-
he's sick.
I
He's
should-
trying to bring us all the crap.
I should
if-
be
if I
careful.
have
You
to
have an
save all the
actual
ships-
axe.
One.
Yeah, he'll come find you.
And a
I
spear,
will
which would
send you a
traditionally
pic
be
of my-
used to harm fish. So
Yeah.
sea monsters.
You've seen the spear, exactly looks like a harpoon if you come to think about it.
That's right. That's right.
Suddenly, I'm feeling threatened.
Gwen,
Oh my.
did you play the Blood Moon DLC in Morrowind?
No.
Because most people recognize my Hirsine cosplay not by the head, but by the spear.
Oh.
Most people
Interesting.
call me a Forsworn, actually.
Yeah, oh, I can actually see that. People would think that it's a Forsworn cosplay rather than Hirsine, but I mean, I see both for sure. But that's interesting that
Yeah.
they recognize it by the spear more than anything else.
The Morrowind nerds, especially. Because it's the spear of the hunter you get if you defeat the aspect of Hirsine in Solstheim.
Oh,
That's
so
cool to know. Yeah, I never got that far.
Fun fact,
cool.
I made 2 spears. Because I made the Spear of Bitter Mercy first, and it's the wrong spear. You were given to it by Sheer Gorath in Morrowind, not by Hirsine. But it's a spear attributed to Hirsine.
Interesting.
It summons a Storm Atronach in Morrowind.
Yeah, there were some changes to the different. There were little quirks like that in Morrowind versus some of the later games, which are pretty interesting if you go and look at them in lore and read about them.
I enjoyed enchantments in Morrowind the most from all the Elder Scrolls games. To be honest.
Do any of the competitions? I think this is. We'll get to this more in depth, I guess, a little bit later. But do any of the competitions allow for like co-op or duos or whatever in the cosplay?
Yeah.
So if you have go ahead.
No, your question first.
I was just gonna say if you already have a spear that summons a Storm Atronach, then you could get your fiance to be a storm atronach, and you could summon. You could team up on that one.
Storm Well, this would be a too meta of a in joke, I think. But yeah, there are group cosplay competitions, and we actually won a best performance in one of our first conjoined efforts for a competition, and we have made several. We had several performances as Lord and Elf hero,
Okay.
but we never won as those, unfortunately.
That's
But
cool.
she had her first competition win in Amsterdam. She was best in show, and I'm really
Awesome.
proud of her.
It's awesome.
It was a beautiful piece. It was so awesome.
For those who don't know, she is the Vermina from the show.
So amazing. So amazing.
I think you had this a few weeks back. You talked about the showcase on the Elder Scrolls website.
Yeah.
With the cosplay from Amsterdam.
Yeah.
Where I
Yeah,
was actually able to visit you in stream for a short period of time because I had a break at work.
That's right. I remember you did pop into the stream during that one. Yeah, that's very cool. Yeah, so definitely go back, and if you want to see some of the pictures of what we're talking about, go ahead and you can head on back either to the Elder Scrolls website, or you can head back to our show notes from the previous week, and you should be able to catch what we're talking about right now. So, oh man. Okay, so what's your favorite piece you've made then? Do you have one, or is that kind of like asking someone to pick a favorite kid or something, like...
Yes and no. My favorite pieces are almost all those I make last with armor. That's for my Nord. It's the helmet because it's incredibly complicated, or was incredibly complicated to build. But usually it's the weapons. Currently, and the metal ones add that. I have Nordic carved dagger, which I'm incredibly proud of. I have the spear of the hunter. I have my Nordic battle axe, and currently on the workbench is the Imperial sword from Skyrim. And those are always the most elaborate things I build with, or the most. I can hold it in my hand, and it's complete by itself. So I think that's the point why I'm proudest of those. In points of armor, yeah, as I said, the helmet of the Nord. I'm looking at it. It's above my PC on our Elder Scrolls shrine. And I'm looking around the room where all the cosplays are. But I think, yeah, it's the spears and the axe. I think I have to do the sword sometimes, but it's so thick. I don't think I could carry it around long. The Sword of the North he has in the new Gold Road trailer, singly because he lost his axe.
Yeah. Oh man. Goodness. That's very cool. I like that it's kind of like you feel like it's whatever you complete your particular build with. That's neat. And I understand the weapons thing because it's a piece unto its own. It doesn't go with other pieces. I mean, it can, but it can also just be by itself. So that's really cool.
Yeah, exactly. The fun thing is, usually the part you complete last is the most complicated because you have to learn along the way the stuff you need. Mm-hmm. And because you learn so much in this journey, from beginning to the end, you usually have the best ideas and want to redo half of it when you're at this point. Because, I could have done this so and so, I could have done this like this and it would be better. I have redone so many parts of my Nord. I had to forge new buckles for the complete cosplay because one broke. And I was sure the rest will break at one point or another. So I made, I think, 22 new buckles for the complete armor and set them all up and attached them to the armor in winter. So I can have an incredibly durable armor because they are more than thrice as thick as medieval armor buckles.
Wow.
Wow.
But I won't break again, I guarantee you.
You're like, I'll show you. You'll never break again.
Yeah. a tip for all who want to go into cosplay: finish a small part first, from beginning to the end. Many people build all the parts first, then they paint, then they you get the gist. I finish one part first from to completion and put it on a shelf or put it somewhere where I see it often, so I don't lose motivation, because I know I have made this part already.
Yeah, I imagine
Now I
that
have
probably
to
gives
build
you
the
a
rest,
sense of
because it
completion.
Yeah, exactly. You can see
Right.
I have made this already.
Right.
It's not that hard. I can do it. That's what I did with the Imperial. I made the most elaborate small part first. This would be the bracers, the Imperial heavy steel bracers. And they're sitting there, and I look at them, and I can do it. This was the part I was dreading, one of the most dreaded parts. I can do it. I would have to add the Imperial bracers to one of my favorite parts, because they are really, really cool.
So what was it you were dreading about the bracers? Was it just the design pattern on them, or?
They're really strange for a bracer, because you have to they have a bent top plate. On this plate is the Imperial sigil, and it has some interesting creases. And the side pieces are actually 90-degree bent metal sheets with a crimping on the rim. To connect this, you have to rivet it on 2 places. I made it 4, so it's more durable. But to get it to fit properly and not feel like you're clamping your arm down was really, really hard. I had to rebend stuff, but the most dreading part was the Imperial sigil, to get it on there and to make it. I used 1.5 mil steel sheet, and I took a chisel, because I have no tools that are small enough to cut them, and I chiseled it out of sheet steel. Then I filed it down to shape, and then I bored holes into the bracer, put them on, and welded them from the underside. And then I had to grind off all the welds that burned through, and that took me almost 5 hours to make. Only the cleaning up after the welding to get what kind of work this is. I hope this sentence makes sense.
Yes, I followed
It's
that.
my German wants to do German, but in English.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. That's very cool. It's a lot of work.
I would show you, but yeah, that's hard right now. It would make more sense if I could show you.
Yeah.
Oh, sun's up.
Ah!
It's foggy outside.
Yeah, we thank you for joining us at a very early hour for you. So thank you. Late for us, early for you.
So. I'm a morning person, so that's okay.
Not me. If someone asked me to get up that early in the morning, I'd be like, I'll try.
By the way, if there are any questions you have after the fact, or the people listening at home, feel free to text me, to DM me on every social media app you can find me on. I'm always happy to answer any and all questions about crafting and stuff, if I can help you. I don't tend to do commissions, but if you can convince me it's going to be easy, then I can help you. Just because I'm talking about complicated stuff and getting started in cosplay, and so always feel free to hit me up for questions.
Awesome. Yeah, we'll get when we get to the end of the show, we'll get all of your socials and stuff, and we can link those in show notes too.
For sure.
Very cool. Is it cool if we just combine these next 2 questions?
Yeah,
So
we gotta do
pretty
it.
much, clearly we can tell that Khajiit has been writing some of these questions because it's about sugar.
No,
the moon.
no, that wasn't me. But I thought that I would. I thought that I could translate these and combine them into just one question, just to kind of get through these a little faster. How much moon sugar does it take to make you ticklish?
What?
This one doesn't know how much moon sugar it takes, but I am very, very ticklish, yes.
That's why you wear heavy armor. Got it.
That's what it is. The heavy armor is to help keep the Nord from being tickled to death.
Exactly.
Cold is not the weakness, the tickles are.
Oh my
Cold.
goodness.
Let me tell you one thing about cold, friends. Let me tell you one thing. If you're wearing armor, metal armor, in cold, seriously,
even imagine.
put on some more padding than you think you need.
You need first
The metal-
skivvies.
The metal pulls so much heat out of you. I had a
Yeah,
photo
that-
shooting in winter once with the Nord. I was so freezing, and usually I can't do with cold. But yeah, I'm very, very ticklish. That's why I need heavy armor to be not ticklish. Ask Kalia.
Amazing.
All right.
And the
Well,
worst
those
kind of tickle is the tickle you get from your own beard. Because sometimes you think it's a bug or something that's crawling above you and it's tickling.
Wow. Well, they were in there. I figured I had to ask. Sasquatch really wanted to know. I don't know why, but you know.
Don't worry, he added another one later. Maybe we should just take care of it now too. And it's, how is Sasquatch as cool as he is?
Also in my professional experience, I would say it's because of the mysteriousness of cryptid roaming around us and asking us questions. Really,
That is true. We never see him truly. Like, is he real? Is he not?
This is true.
Oh my goodness.
you know, you don't see a Sasquatch. You hear or smell it.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, we were trying to get a fire going earlier in our fire pit, and didn't have much luck with that. The wood was a little too wet, but there was this weird smell coming off of it. Maybe that was Sasquatch hiding out around the corner.
Sasquatch. That's what it was. He was
Probably was.
waiting.
Okay.
Lurking in the shadows.
Oh, apparently I decided that my character needed to have a snack. I stood up and accidentally ate.
I have to take a sip of water because my throat is getting really dry. Way to
Oh
go,
my goodness.
future voice
So-
actor.
So sorry.
Oh, don't worry about it.
Oh my goodness. All right, well, let's keep going. We got a couple more questions for you. What's it like to get to share your creations at these Elder Scrolls celebrations, or like anywhere that you've been able to go and wear some of these cosplays that you've made?
There are two aspects to it. One, the reception of the folk that are hanging around there, and my own perception of the events. The reception is always great. I've not have had one instance of people being, oh, what are you doing here? What are those weirdos doing here? Because I have this a lot at some cons. Where, especially for book fair cons and stuff, where people are like, "Hey, what cosplay? What are you doing here?" And especially the ESO people. Shout out to ESO fam as usual. They are really, really appreciative of people bringing their favorite characters to life. I can't tell you the amount of times I had people come up to me and like, "Blood for the Pact! Oh, Nord hero!" And so, it's really, really great how the people perceive and receive your cosplays, and it's one of the most satisfying is the wrong word, but it's one of the most nice and German? No, English.
Gratifying, probably?
Gratifying experience you can have as a cosplayer, in my opinion. Bonus, we're our Bethesda Germany team. Shout out to the incredible team from Bethesda Germany. They know how to set up an event, and they know how to support their cosplayers. Kai Schober was at the Amsterdam event. I think, Gwen, you met him too?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
He is incredibly caring for his cosplayers, how he calls us. So,
And it shows.
always-
It shows when you see him
Yeah.
around his cosplayers. Yeah.
That's so amazing.
he's a great guy. He looks after us, that we are fed and that we have enough water, and that everything is organized for us. For ESO Tavern, this is the same. We get changing rooms and all. even though there's no cosplay contest and nothing. It's just because he says we enrich the the events. And I think Amsterdam was the same thing. We were highly welcomed. They were really accommodating to us because they know we are a part of the ESO community that tries to bring their stuff to life, and with a passion that's, I think, rather unmatched.
That's a question I have. Is that common in Europe for there to be changing rooms for cosplay? Because in the US,
No,
that's unheard of.
it's not common. There
Okay.
are conventions. For example, I attended the Gamescom cosplay contest last year, and they told us there were changing rooms. Yeah, there were. You had to get asked to get let into it, and some people were waiting there, and you were thrown out as fast as possible again. They were not really accommodating, and they were quite rude, to be honest. And there was one changing room for, I think, 26 contestants
Oh
or
my gosh.
30. So yeah, it was, and it's Gamescom, so it's a big convention, and it was provided by Hydra Forge, and they usually do a lot of contests. So usually you have some kind of backstage where you can change, but not specific changing rooms. So it's very uncommon, or at least it's a conventions and um, competitions I attended.
Okay.
So they don't even have like just like some sort of partition set up or anything for that.
No, that's in the US, that's not absolutely unheard of. It doesn't matter how big your costume is or whatever, you show up, you're ready. But
Wow.
however, for all of my only experience with the European stuff is Elder Scrolls events, and they always provide a place for them to change. That's why I was asking if that's
Huh.
just a common European thing or if that is specific to the Elder Scrolls community.
Hmm.
Wow.
It was because Jess, shout out to Jess, many shout outs here. She texted us, or she mailed us beforehand and asked, what do we need? What do we want? How, because it's the first contest, how could they make it easier for us? What should they know? And we all put in our input, like I like to have a timer on stage so I know how much time I have left. And they put a timer on stage.
That's
They
so
told us how
amazing.
big the stage is. We told them Jazz is the only reason I was able to get my steel axe and my arrows in, because the venue usually forbids metal weapons. But Jess and Kai came out to the car, collected me and my stuff, and we put it backstage. Stuff
Wow.
like this, the little things that make the life. I could showcase my metal stuff. I cannot go on any convention in Germany or in Europe for that matter with my best creations because, well, they are metal, they are weapons. You could bludgeon someone to death with it even if they're adult. Yeah, and I'm eternally grateful that they made this happen, and I could swing those heavy metal things around and could show the people the thing I'm most proud of. Which leads me nicely to the third part of the question I just thought of. I was so incredibly nervous about the
Oh.
reception of my performance, about the reception of my cosplay, because if you come to the Amsterdam event, not only do you spend a lot of money, but most of them come a long, long way. So they are the hardcore ESO fans,
Right.
and they know their favorite characters inside out. And the Nord, Elf, and Breton are the oldest ESO heroes we know. So there is a lot of scrutiny going on for your character. And it was so incredibly well received. I was so relieved. I couldn't sleep for 2 weeks beforehand. And
Oh.
after Sunday, it was the first day I could probably sleep, and I was so happy that everything turned out. I was a bit grumpy, to be fair. I have to admit, I really, really wanted to win this contest because it means I'm competitive, and it would have meant extremely much for me. I was happy that that Kalia won. I was happy for her, even if it didn't show it, because I was so beat down because I didn't win. But the overall experience was so great that I really, really fast forgot that I was unhappy because of it, and I could celebrate with my friends, and we could celebrate ESO, and I was able to showcase all the work I put into my stuff. But I was still nervous.
I literally perform for my job every day. So I totally understand that because sometimes no matter how much you've practiced something or no matter how much you've planned out something, there's always going to be that like the nervous factor of what if I get it something wrong or what if I forget something or what if my timing is off, you know? So it's I think sometimes that people forget that there can be that element into something even like a cosplay contest, you know, because Gwen told us all about how she thought about what she was going to do for Abner when she got up on stage and, you know, how they give you time to kind of show off for a minute. And that can be pretty nerve-wracking because not only are you building what you're wearing, but then you're also having to choreograph and come up with something for you to do. So that can be a lot of can probably feel like a lot of additional pressure, which people who don't cosplay or you know don't perform or do anything like that, yeah, they've never probably had that, or at least not in that way. They may have had it with something else in their life, but they may not be able to kind of you know compare the two. I guess you could say.
Exactly right. The advantage I have, I did reenactment for 12 years, and I fought. I did HEMA sword fighting for 10 of those or 11 of those. So
Wow.
stage performance usually come down for me to get on stage, do something, then start working the routine, you know, from inside out, from muscle memory, because you know how to work around weapons, and then do some final flourish and leave stage. Usually my performance really consists only of do fight, do hit thing that not there.
Whatever works.
Whatever works, and usually it's quite impressive, and that's why I usually build my stuff so durable too, because they have to survive what I'm doing. We call it the Denny test. If props survive me, they survive everything.
That's awesome.
That's really cool about the doing the sword fight stuff. I always find that kind of thing kind of fascinating, and I actually was going to ask if you had any interest in maybe trying to audition for like the next Star Wars thing, because they always seem to get people who don't actually know how to use a sword to wield lightsabers.
Wow. The shade.
Yeah, but rightfully so. That's really shady, but rightfully so.
Yeah,
It's true. It's true.
I want to like them so much, but the choreography is so bad.
Disclaimer: I'm not a good fighter. I'm really, really bad, but I try my best.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, some of the stuff, maybe some of these questions we should switch around just a little bit because they're
Yeah, some of them we've kind of answered a little bit too.
yeah. So we talked about what it's like to compete. And what about? I know you've mentioned a little bit about some of the stuff you've done, but what all awards have you gotten, or shows have you won, or things like that?
Not many, to be honest. The one of the best was the best performance we won at Epicon a few years back. Kalia and I had cosplayed as Viola and Gascoigne from Bloodborne.
Oh,
Gascoigne is the first or second boss, depends on which one of those you do first. and Viola is his wife, and you find her deceased body in his boss room, and she based her cosplay on that. And we did the scene where he kills her,
Wow.
and it was like we had mics, so we learned our parts. It was really like a theatrical piece for 90 seconds. The bloody thing was not properly isolated. I was shocked the whole thing through. Like electrical current run through my body, and I was barely able to stand. But we did it.
Ooh.
Oh
And we
my
won best
gosh.
performance.
Oh. That's.
Unfortunately, there's no recording of it left.
I was just fixing to ask. I'd like to see. I actually know
unfortunate.
a friend of mine is a big Bloodborne fan. Would love that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I think the aesthetic of Bloodborne's cool. I've tried it and got about 5 minutes into that game. I was like, how's the first enemy I encounter killing me every time? So
I think you saw my gamer card on the PSN thing with 470 hours clocked on Bloodborne.
that's substantial.
Yeah. Then the next one I won alone was at FARC. It's a roleplay convention here in Germany. And that was the first time I had the idea with arrows stuck out of my body. Well, I didn't win. I made third place. But anyways, fun fact there, they put up the band equipment before they started the cosplay contest, which is really, really stupid, especially if you have people who need a lot of space. So I almost hit a microphone. I hit a microphone and almost crashed it from the stage. But that's their fault. I didn't take any Verantwortung, responsibility. Yeah. And the finisher was I was turning around, pretending there was an enemy on the other end of the stage, and I threw my axe into a bunch of stage boxes. My foam axe. And this was really funny, and the people were just like, and if Gwen recollects, I like to shout a lot at my performances, and I was shouting there a lot, and this was like throwing the axe at people.
Oh my
It was really
goodness.
fun.
It's crazy.
And the last one, I won Best in Show at the smaller of the two Comic Con Stuttgart cosplay contests. Especially with shouting and swinging my weapon wildly around and stuff. Yeah. Didn't win anymore, even though I participated in 1, 2, 3, 4 other cosplay contests. Excluding the Elder Scrolls Online contest, because that's a different story, I think.
Right.
That's cool.
Wow.
Well, I suppose kind of shifting gears just a little bit. Or do you two have anything else to ask as far as the cosplay side of things goes?
We covered everything on the list, it looks like.
Yeah.
Kind of out of order, but we did cover everything on the
Right.
list.
Yeah. Oh, I do want to know. I mean, you do real life metalworking. Was that something that you always wanted to pick up, or was it like you came to it later? Like, how did you get started in metalworking, which now you've of course transitioned into using for your cosplay stuff?
You will like this. I was an archaeology student.
What?
But I noticed really quick that I'm not for student life. I'm not good at this. I'm really bad at self-organizing. I have ADHD, and I couldn't get a grip on all the stuff. So after 5 semesters, I stopped. I quit university and tried to join the German Bundeswehr, the army.
Mm-hmm.
And since I have I had some injuries from working with a friend, like double hernia, that was not treated and healed really, really badly. They said, sorry, we can't have you in the army, so I had to look for another job. And I had the choice between everything there is around us, and I was blacksmithing with my hobby a bit before. Like, I dabbled in it, made some knives, made some small stuff. And I thought I could deepen that, because I have a bit of experience, and become a fabricator. I wanted to be a blacksmith first, but I have no car. My ADHD makes it really hard for me to drive. So I had to look for something in my proximity. So I found a metal workshop I worked with, which I regret at this point, I have to add, because I was not only working with metal, but I was working with PVC too, which ruined my lungs. But that's another story. So from archaeology student to I want to be soldier to I'm a metal worker. And people always say, oh, that fits, you can use your stuff you learn at work at your hobby. But no. There's one thing I learned at work I use for my hobby, and that's welding. Everything else is basically self-taught. Because I neither work with sheet metal at work, nor do I shaping stuff. Basically, all I do is building railings, balconies, stairs, that stuff. But yeah, it blends in, and I can get cheap materials for my cosplay at work.
Well, that's a benefit.
Indeed.
I imagine that
And I'm
stuff can
strong
get pretty
because of
expensive.
My endurance is because for wearing armor and wearing heavy stuff and lifting heavy stuff is through the roof thanks to my work. So
Oh, goodness.
I got this going for me, which is nice.
Yeah. What an interesting journey. Thanks for sharing that. That's cool.
Yep.
I thought you'd get a neg out of it, of me studying archaeology.
Yeah, that's so funny because that's what I went to school for. So I totally understand. Wow.
awesome.
That's so cool.
See, I said from the beginning, we're learning all about these things we have in common.
I was a law seeker. I was a law seeker in real life,
Yep.
if you think about it.
It's so true.
So what made you get into archaeology? What are you
Indiana
most
Jones.
interested in history?
Indiana
Indiana
Jones.
Indiana Jones was the tipping point, but usually it's battlefields. I'm really interested in military history. I like castles. I like the Crusades. Warfare technology from the ancient and medieval period is my cup of tea. Swords, armor, all of that. I wanted to go to Israel, to Syria, see the Crusader castles there, but that's unfortunately not possible anymore. My favorite Crusader castle has been bombed in the Syrian civil war, so unfortunately not possible anymore. But it was real military history. I want to be a military historian with background as an archaeologist.
Okay.
Wow. Tying it all together.
Somehow,
And
yeah.
now-
I'm
now
very
you-
martial.
Yeah, and now you're making Imperial armor.
Yeah,
Nice.
which is a pain in the butt at the moment. The helmet kicks my butt, really.
Yeah. My
But I'm
goodness.
almost done. I think I have it in a wearable state in about a month.
Wow.
With armor and with weapon and shield. Yesterday, I don't know if you saw it, I got back to work on my foam sword for conventions. Made a little imperial sigil on the guard.
That's so cool. And you stream sometimes when you're working your stuff too, right? Have you streamed a little bit? Am I remembering
Yeah.
that correctly?
Problem is usually in the basement I have only mobile data, so usually it runs out pretty fast because I have an ancient contract with 2 gigs of data per month. So
Goes very quick.
my streams usually are rarely longer than an hour or two.
Yeah, that does go quick. Huh.
Neat.
But
So-
I will try to stream more now.
Okay.
Have you pretty much been into gaming your like whole life as a child, or something you got into later, or what?
As I said before, my mother was really strict
Oh,
concerning electronic
Right.
entertainment. The first game I really got into was Stronghold, which might lead to my propensity for medieval stuff.
Yeah.
I was playing those learning games, typical German learning games, which probably don't say anything for you, so I will leave them out. But it's Stronghold Crusader, then later Gothic. I don't know if you know that, by Piranha Bytes.
Gothic
then-
is getting a remake, right?
Yeah, I'm so excited.
Okay, I don't know much about that game. I just know I've seen the remake. It looks pretty cool.
I'm listening to Stronghold and Gothic music while crafting and when I'm going to bed. So yeah,
There's some pretty good covers of some Stronghold stuff that I'll have to send you that I've come across that are very cool,
By-
because I bet you would like them.
Adriante.
Yes.
I listen to them while crafting. That's so great.
I
When I-
love that stuff, and he's done Elder Scrolls stuff as well.
Ariel's Ascension chef's kiss.
Yeah, so good.
And then some. What was I playing? Minecraft. And around the time Minecraft came out, I started playing Oblivion. And then I was done for. Then it was time for the Elder Scrolls. My laptop couldn't handle Oblivion at this time, so I played Morrowind. With cheats, I have to admit, because I'm impatient. And you have to say, Morrowind combat doesn't help your patience.
No. Dice rolls, never. Not good for
Nothing
patience at all.
about Morrowind helps your patience.
This is true. Nothing about
The
Morrowind.
water graphics are nice.
Oh.
Yes, yes. Great to see the slaughterfish that are trying to eat you, my dear.
And the drag. But
Yeah.
my journey started with Oblivion with terrible graphic glitches because everything was white and pink, because the graphics card was so bad they couldn't show the colors in Oblivion.
That's some dedication.
So you're basically just in the
Yeah.
Shivering Isles the whole time then.
Exactly, but I just barely made it out of the Imperial sewers without my laptop bursting into flames. So yeah. Then I played Skyrim when it came out. Then Fallout. Fallout was a big thing for me in this time. Yeah. And I played basically everything that finds my interest. My Steam library has about 250 games in it currently. Yeah.
That's cool. So as far as ESO is concerned, tell us a little bit about what you play there. You said you
Usually
rolled a new Dragon Knight Wood Elf recently, but what are you maining?
My main is a Nord Dragon Knight, spec'd on a tank. Not for trials or anything, but for overworld stuff and for dungeons. It's perfectly fine. I'm surviving anything and almost every English. Almost all of my characters are werewolves. That's a common denominator.
Okay.
Is that because you like
praise Lord
Hercene?
Hercene.
Yeah.
I was just gonna
Okay.
say, it's because you like Herstein, right?
And I don't like the tube teeth, to be fair.
Nice.
There's a nice German word, we call them Stiftzähne. Literally pencil teeth. The vampires.
Pencil teeth. I'm so impressed that you are like thinking in German and also speaking English and also doing a podcast right now. I'm just so impressed. That's so great.
Yeah, I'm stuck on words usually. I'm writing a lot of English with the Law Seekers, and I have a friend in Arizona who I'm texting regularly. We have, and I think, quite a handful of friends outside of Germany, so my English is usually even more used than my German, to be honest.
Wow.
But back to the question, I usually only play tank. My Wood Elf is my first DD, and I'm sucking at it. It's so bad. I press about 1.5 times the damage my tank has. And I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I can't get my hang of weaving, for example.
Yeah, weaving is pretty unforgiving when you first start out. It can definitely be a challenge. So
Yeah, I do.
you'll get there. It's just practice.
I do enough damage to play normal stuff, but most of the time, if I'm running with our group, I'm tank. So, and I'm bad at that too.
Hey, we point men are important, and we tanks without us, most content is inaccessible.
Yep.
Or most advanced content, because tanks are important. We can take the hit.
I agree.
Quite literally.
Let's put it like this: 42,000 hit points.
My
That's a number you can work with.
my favorite thing to do is find the most ridiculous builds and then punish my teammates by seeing how long I can push that build before I have to change it, or before Zenimax forces me to change it because they keep changing gear sets.
You do.
It's not
honest.
punishment. It's training.
I had a whole build
never-
recently that I put all this time into putting together, and they changed the way the gear set worked, and it's gone. I have to completely start over. So,
I'm currently running my tank with offensive sets, and it works just as well.
oh yeah,
I'm a selfish tank, yeah, but I'm currently running Valley Breath, where you spit those 3 poison bubbles, Ash Grip, and Hunting's Rage. All with armor buff, and all with life. But my
Acid
damage
Grip
output
is
about-
the melee damage you like breathe fire in front of you, right? Is that it?
Exactly.
Okay, yeah, that was one of the first sets I crafted when I started playing.
Yeah, I was running this with Drauga. That's the overworld
it-
set from Riften,
It's
like
not,
Deathwind.
it's not hulking Draugr then, right?
I don't know the name of it in English. It's the one where when your life is below 35%, you do an AOE around you that pushes enemies away.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not an expert on all of the different. There's so many of them, and we're about to get 20
It
more.
works. It works for me, so I just don't change it. But I think I'm looking into, because Arcanir had an interesting thing with Juggernaut.
Oh yeah.
And I want to try this out because unkillable tank is a nice thing.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I always love
My
listening
biggest-
to Ark talk about his tanking.
Yeah, I can't compete with Ark. Ark is a tank god compared to me. But I have to say, I tanked veteran Sunspire with this tank.
Oh, that's awesome.
No trifecta, but I think that's impossible for a newbie
you
tank.
still finished.
Yeah, and I'm not big with trials, but we did Sunspire, and we did. I was with 4x Thule. We ran Clockwork City raid. Ars.
Asylum Sanctorum.
Asylum
Right, no.
Sanctorum.
Asylum Sanctorum. Yeah.
Yep.
I mistook it with Ars Corinium. That was something different.
Yeah,
Yes.
Arks is the
I always get
four-person
those
dungeon.
two mixed up too. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. And my first raid was Cloud Rest,
Wow.
which I tanked too.
Nice.
We had really, really good raid leads, so no problem there.
Amazing.
Tell me what to do, I will do it. I will stand there, keep my shield up, and won't die. That's all I can do. Come with me if you want to live.
Exactly. Amazing. I love it. Wow.
And I do a lot of role playing for myself. Like I have a Templar, my Dunmer Templar doesn't steal. He is no werewolf. He's a Zealoth of Zenithar. It was my Blackwood character, and he's a cleric. for example, like this. Or my current Wood Elf is played as a barbarian, 2-hand and 2 weapons. She's doing the fierce one, the Red Sonja.
You said she's
Oh.
a Dragonite, right? Earlier, right? Your Wood Elf, your new Wood Elf.
Yeah,
You said she's
my
a Dragonite.
my boss, Elia Tuskcarver.
Red Sonja. I was just talking about that movie the other day.
I'm not sure I've heard
There's a
that
movie. I just knew about the comics.
Yeah.
There is a movie, an old one.
Yeah,
I think. Isn't Arnold Schwarzenegger
He is.
in it too?
Yeah, Conan. He's Conan or Conan. Yes, he is. Yep.
Oh.
And the actress that plays Red Sonja is the wife of Ivan Drago, Dolph Lundgren,
Oh.
in Rocky IV. I believe she's the actress that plays that part. Yep. Yeah, I watched that movie as a kid. I was talking to somebody the other day about it. I don't even remember why that came up, but yeah.
I have to rewatch Conan.
Sounds like we all do.
Yeah, Conan is a classic.
I haven't seen that since I was probably, I don't know, not even a teenager yet, if I had to guess. It's been a long time.
Conan.
I've seen it 3 years ago.
Yeah, I was gonna say I just
And the
watched it
new
last
one, but the new
January.
one
I
was
think
bad.
the Conan at least.
That's one of those that I probably watched it when it came on, like, those late night movie things that would come on, like USA or TNT or something like that. And I don't have any of that stuff anymore, so I just don't see it. But if I saw it pop up on Netflix, there's a good chance I would be like, I'm gonna have to watch that soon.
We have it on DVD.
That's awesome. All right. I guess that kind of covers all the questions, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think we've done it. That was fantastic. Thank you for
Yeah.
sharing so much with us. We know we made you talk a lot. We're sorry about that.
I could talk 2 hours more. I wanted to be a voice actor, don't forget.
It's true.
I have been told I shouldn't quit my day job for it because the market for voice acting is really, really bad thanks to AI. So
Yeah, it's also hard to get into. Like you have to find the right people,
yeah,
Market
Yeah,
yourself the right way.
I'm still trying to get myself to start a audiobook because there is no German version of the Infernal City.
Oh.
Or at least not that I know of. But it's daunting. It's really, really daunting to start it because once you start, you have to pull through.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sure if I can commit to this at the moment. I was auditioning for a Pokemon audiobook, but they didn't come back to me, so I don't think I got the role.
Aww. Well, don't give up. That's the biggest thing.
No,
You
no.
just got to keep trying.
But I have so much on at the moment, and
Yeah.
ADHD is kicking me, so I think I will keep that on the back burner for the moment.
Yeah.
I do my voice acting in my cosplays.
Well,
Yeah,
have fun with it, and if it
I-
ever
I've-
takes you in other directions, so that's just a bonus, right?
I have a question for Gwen for later, for Murder Hobo.
Oh, I love it. Got to get there.
All right. Well, disregard this last thing I had here. We'll just leave that out.
Mm-hmm.
No need for that. All right. So, do we want to jump into some news? I haven't even had a chance to look at any of this yet.
Yeah, sure. Some of it's short, some of it's long. Well, I'm gonna do these a bit out of order for a second because the first one I'm gonna mention is pretty quick. But finally, the Necrom soundtrack is finally available online.
I figured you'd be excited for that.
I'm sorry. I'm just so happy.
See, I have
don't
this
have
theory.
to
I have this
listen to
running
it on
theory now.
YouTube
I have this-
anymore.
after us talking about like ESO music and stuff for the past year, I have this running theory. They
Okay.
wait an entire year, or almost until like the week or two before the month before the new DLC comes out to actually release the soundtrack for people to listen to online. So that way, you're forced to hang out in the game in order to listen to the music.
That's a good theory, except that they usually drop the soundtrack a couple months after the chapter launches. Like, all the other ones have been have been dropped decently into
To be
the
honest,
amount of
I
time.
downloaded it for use for Kalia's performance. So
Mm-hmm.
I had it on my PC all the time.
Yeah,
YouTube download ups.
that's what I was gonna say. We used it in a few of our lore lessons too, and it was the same thing. We either had to capture game audio or we had to find good quality on YouTube, and then do the download or whatever. But yeah, I'm just really excited that it's finally on streaming platform. So it's available online if you'd like to listen to it. The other thing too is I noticed there are some different transitions in the soundtrack that is on Spotify and Apple versus like the PTS ones that people have, ripped or whatever. So there's some slightly different musical things in it, which is kind of cool. So I was just really happy
Any
about
idea
that
why?
finally. No, I don't know why. I'm wondering if it just has to do with how they layered the tracks together, and I wonder if maybe when they did a release, because a couple of the tracks are really long. They're like 11 or 12 minutes long. So I'm wondering if it's because they wanted to tie together a few themes and make the album shorter, but it's still like less tracks. You know what I'm saying? Make it less tracks, but still have a decent length. So I'm not really sure. It might also
Yeah,
just
makes
have
sense.
it might also just have to be with how the music shuffles through in game, because the music shuffles in game differently for people depending upon what you're doing or where you've been. That is one of the
Combat
things that we've
music
been
and
told. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it depends on set pieces too, because certain music plays in certain points at stories and stuff.
Yep,
So
exactly.
I guess maybe it's this.
yeah,
Could be.
they probably have a separate recording for releasing just the soundtrack itself.
I also think that I wonder if what Gwen says may be true. Maybe they were holding off on this one for a little bit because of the fact that these two chapters tie together but don't actually tie together.
Oh no, I'm probably totally wrong.
No,
That made sense until you told me about the other ones. Then no, I'm wrong.
well, no, it's okay. It does, to me, it does make sense if they held off on the Necrom soundtrack, A, because of the 10th anniversary, and then B, also because of the fact that it will tie in some way to Gold Road. But
Or
who knows?
maybe it's because they had to change stuff, like we said, because the loop version from in-game is too long or too repetitive in some places, so they had to cut it to a listenable version, and
Could be.
this took more time, or they had to get rhetoric back for something, I don't know.
Yeah, or who knows? It could also have something to do with all of the different strange recording stuff. We were talking about AI a little while ago, and this is just pure speculation on my part, but we don't know what contracts were like and, things like that. So who knows? It could even have something to do with all of that stuff. There's no way that we'll ever know, but I guess I'm just happy that it's out.
And we could ask the devs.
Yeah, that's true. Hey, what was going on with this? So they're usually pretty open if they can be. So who knows?
And
So.
Necrom soundtrack is great. So
It's
haunting.
very good. Very good. I love it.
It actually reminds me a lot of Bloodborne.
Cool. I'll have to go
The
listen to that.
the later parts of Bloodborne.
Neat. So yeah, there's that. I was excited about that. What do we want to cover next? What are you thinking?
I try not
Anything stick out to anyone, or do we want to go in order?
to. Like I said, I haven't had a
I
chance to
think the
actually look at
achievements
these.
would make sense if we are at a chapter.
All right, special 10th anniversary achievement.
Because we have 865 quests to finish.
Oh my goodness, you're not wrong.
I think it's actually 865. I think I read it somewhere.
Oh my
Wow.
gosh. Earn a new skin with the special 10-year anniversary achievement. Since 2014, The Elder Scrolls Online has enjoyed 10 years of adventure, taking you and your fellow players from the myriad of provinces of Tamriel to the otherworldly plains of Abelian. As part of our ongoing 10-year anniversary celebration, we are adding an all-new achievement that celebrates and showcases the game's ever-growing world titled Adventure Across a Decade. The new achievement arrives with the launch of Gold Road Chapter and Update 42 in June, and it touches on practically every zone and main story quest in the game. To earn Adventure Across a Decade, you need to complete the following. Earn the Hero of the Aldemary Dominion, Daggerfall Covenant, and Ebonheart Pact achievements. Basically complete Cadwell's Gold, apparently. Complete ESO's main storyline and Triumph against Molag Bal. Complete the main storylines for the following zones: Cold Harbor, Craglorn, Hrothgar, Hughesbane, Gold Coast, Vardenfell, Clockwork City, Somerset, Murkmire, Northern Elsewhere, Southern Elsewhere, Western Skyrim, The Reach, Blackwood, the Deadlands, High Isle, Galen, Telvanni Peninsula and Apocrypha, and Westweald. That's a lot of questing, but don't worry. If you've previously completed the story quests and earned the achievements for any of the above zones, they will automatically be counted when Update 42 is live. Upon earning the new achievement, you'll also unlock an exclusive skin, Fractured Glory. Whether you adventure alone or with your allies, this unique skin will allow you to proudly show your dedication to the game and mark you as a true veteran of Tamriel's second era.
That's a lot of stuff to get through.
It is, but
this skin looks so great.
how much have you actually done on this list?
Me personally, not a ton. I'm way behind.
Way more on my PlayStation account than my PC.
I'm missing Hughesbane, Galen, Craiglawn, and Westweald.
That's
I'm
not
missing
too
the
far
Telvanni
off.
Peninsula.
Everything
and Westwood.
else I've done. Gold Coast, I'm missing two or three quests.
So I've done Cold Harbor, Hrothgar, Murkmire, Northern and Southern Elsewhere, and High Isle. That one came first, right, before Galen?
Yeah.
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 These are actually,
Yeah.
well, they're not quite in order, but
Yeah.
I'm
They're
so
so
sad that High Isle didn't catch me as the rest did. It
I
didn't
haven't-
stick. It's so sad.
I haven't finished it, so I need to finish it. Yeah, I split
Yeah,
between
same.
the two. Split between the two platforms, I've done all of them. But on PlayStation, I've probably done 75%.
You've been playing on the PTS?
No, I said on PlayStation.
No, you said between both platforms you've done all of them. So you've done Westweald already?
Well, no, not okay. All right, fair. Okay, fair. No, I have not done Westfield. So between both platforms, I've probably done almost all of them.
Okay.
I definitely haven't completed them, but I do have Cadwell's Gold on PlayStation, so I do not have it on PC.
And so this
Ausgezeichnet.
isn't a permanent in-game achievement, right?
I hope so.
So not a timed thing. It's like at any point you get that stuff done.
Right.
Okay.
It seems like
I don't
it.
think if it's an achievement, because Elder Scrolls has not a single achievement that isn't earnable in retrospect.
Right.
Yeah.
Holiday achievements.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, but you can get them later
The
again.
following year.
Yeah.
That's true. You can buy the grab bags to help you get the parts for the things.
Yeah.
Yep.
One question for you all: why do you think they chose this broken pottery skin that's mended by gold? Because that's unique and that's an interesting choice for an anniversary or a 10-year achievement. I don't think it's because Tamriel Unlimited fixed the game to the state that it is now.
Yeah, I don't know.
I was wondering
This
when
is-
I first saw the skin, why?
This is me grasping at straws. Seriously, this is crazy, far-fetched. First thing that pops into my head, probably totally BS. Because it is fractured pieces put together, and you have all these different parts of the whole story in order to get the achievement.
That's an interesting
That would
thought.
be a bit slim, though. If it's only the achievement that defines what they used for skin. Well, it makes sense, but that would be a bit
And
slim.
and
It
it's
must be something
showy.
deeper.
And
That's what
it's
that, of
showy.
course.
It's a very showy skin because it's dark with a bright color.
Reminds me of Ebon Ore,
Yeah.
because Ebon Ore is only amalgamating with gold.
Oh.
It doesn't take any lesser metals than gold for amalgamation as an alloy.
See, this is why the metal worker is here.
Yep. Yep.
I asked
They have better
USP for
theories.
famous blacksmith. That's my expertise.
Wow. Yeah, I can't really think of an actual reason. I guess we'll have to see, other than what you just mentioned, we'll have to see when it comes out in game what it actually says for the descriptor. So, if it has any little lore bit with it or not,
I have to ask which.
Yeah, right? Ask
Less
him.
than 60 days.
Yeah, so good. So good.
And I think there's still tickets available.
I'm not going this year.
I wish I could go so bad. I wanted to get to Amsterdam and couldn't even get there.
You get your passport yet?
No, I need to.
You need
We
to,
will
just in
try
case.
to get me to Baltimore as well next year.
I hope you can come. I would love to meet you face to face. That'd be amazing.
I'm hoping to
Same.
be able to make the stateside event this time. We'll see.
Baltimore.
That's true. Never. You are the only person in this chat I have yet to meet in person. I've seen both of them in person more than once, and I still have yet to meet you.
You even met someone in another part of the world before meeting me. That's saying
Twice in another part of the world. Twice.
Watch out. Maybe you will find out he's not really Khajiit at all.
Oh my gosh.
Oh no. What are we gonna do?
I am pretty furry, but
That's daunting.
Oh.
I mean, my first character, your most recent character is a Wood Elf Dragon Knight. My first character was a Wood Elf Dragon Knight. That didn't stick with me long, but yeah.
Oh,
Speaking of
goodness.
characters, do we need to meet
Should
one?
we meet a new one? Yeah.
Yeah.
Lamp.
Did you just say lamp?
Did you say lamp?
Lamp.
I love lamp.
Order of
I
the
love
lamp. Lamp.
I love lamp. Yeah, that's what I was
Yep,
gonna say.
I love lamp. Okay, hear me out, guys. But ever since we heard Order of the Lamp, I cannot picture moths flying around this imperial glowing lantern with the symbol of Order of the Lamp, and that's just been stuck in my head. Remember the Bardvark? This is the Bardvark for this chapter. It's a moth that's obsessed with the lamp.
Amazing.
I think it would
expect-
be easy to make such a moth. Like, for realsies.
That would be cool.
Out of fabric and a bit of glow paint. And wire.
Uh-oh. Now you're just tempting her.
Attempting all of you. Get into crafting.
I would love to. It's a time thing for me.
That's
one
true.
of my things that I have said that if I ever get into cosplay, one of the ones that I want to do is in the Elder Scrolls actual Tales of Tamriel books. There's this picture of a wood elf archer, and she's I think she's leaned up against a tree or something like that, but I'm like, that. I want to make that. That would be awesome.
If you need help, you know where to find me.
Okay. That would be amazing.
Is she flipping a coin?
She's not flipping a coin. Sorry, never. Oh, goodness. All right. Gwen, are you reading, or you want me to read? What do you want to do?
I got
I
it.
can
Let's
read
go.
too.
Oh, do you want to read? Let's have you read. You read it.
Let's do it.
Okay. Meet the character Nalia, right?
Yep.
Okay. Deliver to Warlock Larenthia in care of the Eldenroot Mages Guild. Personal correspondence not to be opened. Mother, I cannot believe you've done this to me. Again. I'm sitting here in my chambers trying to make heads or tails of what I'm sure is a very thoughtful gift. Imagine my surprise when I returned from patrol to find this handmade and rune-scribed oaken chest sitting on my bed. Whoa. It's quite lovely, really. You've outdone yourself. Except, dear mother, you know the enchantments you've put in place here are all beyond my skill level. The thing you and Dad keep doing where you send me magical tests. I know you think you're helping. I really do. But I'm a knight, through and through. A votary of the Order of the Lamp. I stood before the votary commander and swore my oath. You were there. We had pie. It's what I meant to do. I love swinging my sword to keep adepts safe. I love poking through old ruins and bashing down magical threats. I do not love trying to squint at a wall and remember the basics of inter-evocative hermetic harmonic resonance theory so I can pop open a birthday gift from my parents. Do you remember that year from... Excuse me. I'm stumbling over my tongue. Do you remember that year for New Life when you two sent me those baked pastries using Grammy's old recipes? They were fouler than barracks midden by the time I got the damn box open. Don't worry. The puzzle I figured out straight away. I haven't lost my touch there. I think. I picked up all your little clues from the symbols on the corner of the box. And the solution was actually a very sweet message. Thank you. I hope you know I love you too. It was also a cheat. Pop the locks with a portal here, a portal there. Mom, I'm trying to convince the guilds that I'm more than just a utility mage. I can hear your voice now. Be good at what you do, even if it's not your calling. I know. Being a votary knight is my calling. It's what I'm good at. And I know someday I'm going to be the right person in the right place, at the right time to really make a difference. And not because of what I can do, but because of who I am. In other words, I'm going to make a difference because of what I learned from you and Dad. And what you taught me about how to be a decent, caring person. Not all the spell theory. Right. I suppose let's get that off my chest. Thank you, as always, for listening. Send my love to Dad. It'll be his turn for chess next time I'm home. If you'll excuse me, I have to go stare at these runes you so lovingly put into place and try to remember the Archmagister's lessons from when I was 12. Are the sigil around the eye of Magnus' left hand facing all right? Oh, I'll figure it out. With love and devotion, your daughter, Nalia. Nalia's talents extend to both the martial and the arcane, but it is a determination and virtuosity that truly defies the Votary Knight. Join forces with this warrior mage, and together you may unlock the three kids describing, a unique magic that can enhance and customize your skills. Will you seek out Votary Nalia when ESO Goldenrod launches in June? Let us know. Blah blah blah, social media stuff.
Yay! That's so good.
Excellent.
I'm sorry I was stumbling a lot because voice acting is easy in German and hard in English.
No, it's okay.
you
No,
did
no,
great.
we all
You did
stumble
great.
when we read. You did amazing.
Oh,
Good.
so much.
I don't even have to be reading. Sometimes I just try to talk and it just doesn't come out, you know.
That's so
Same.
good. Well
Loved it.
done. I loved it.
My old woman voice needs a bit work, but I think it's going to last.
I think my favorite line there was "We had pie."
Yeah, we had pie.
well, pie is always great. I mean, come on, it's
So
pie.
she's either going to mention a lot of food or she has a food-based memory. Either way, I think I'm going to like this character.
Mm-hmm.
Reminds me of
Same.
Isabel.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, a knight
Sweet
who
stuff.
likes food.
Yeah.
It's wielding all that heavy armor. Get hungry.
Yeah. But you forget to eat, usually.
Yeah.
Especially if you're in cosplay all day.
So this is the character we're gonna go see to do the scribing stuff. Then, yeah, I'll be seeking her out pretty
So,
quickly, I think.
so to be fair, we will probably not see her at all because of all the people standing around her.
You're not wrong.
Not the people,
Once
all of
once you
the
click
combat
on,
pets.
Once you
Yeah,
click
exactly.
on her, then it goes into a screen where you see her in the dialogue and just her in the dialogue. So you'll see her. You just won't see her
True.
to click her. You'll just have to see her little bar.
Flapping wings in the background.
Flappy birds in the way. Yeah.
This shield and the sword are so impractical. Sorry.
Right?
I mean, the rice swords are fine. But the
Right.
shield with the spikes here... No. Never mind.
He's breaking it down, everyone. Watch out.
I'm breaking down when I see this.
A lot of it's
I could go on a
impractical.
whole tangent about this shield, because there are shields and fighting manuals that look similar. But
That's a whole nother show, right?
yeah. You remind when I did the comment last time with the fighting manual drawing on the arsenal table.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly that.
Oh,
Whole
my
tangent.
goodness.
You should just do a whole podcast about what you've learned about medieval weapons and stuff. You know, that'd be interesting.
There are a lot. I recommend Skalagrim on YouTube.
I've seen some
for
of his
this
stuff actually. Yeah. That's pretty cool.
He
I
did
don't-
a whole series about about Skyrim weapons.
I don't know if I've seen that, and you know what? It might have been some video game related thing that brought me to him. That's how I found it. But yeah, there was a period of time there. I was watching a few of his videos. Interesting stuff. I saw him and another guy too. I don't remember who it was, but yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Back to
So
the
you know what's
character
mightier
at
than
hand.
the sword?
The Khajiit.
Paper, because it gives you a paper cut and makes it impossible for you to hold a sword. Anyway, the next
I let
article
you
is the
know.
St. Alessian Tales of Tribute deck. Okay, I thought it was funny.
Did you have something else you were going to say about Dahlia? Ryman?
It was just I forgot my point. Doesn't matter.
Oh.
Next. I'm scatterbrained. That's just how I am.
All right.
All right. Do
So
you
we've
play
got a-
Tales of Tribute at all?
Me? No,
Yeah.
not really.
No?
I'm,
Don't care
I'm,
for it?
I'm not I'm brute force. I'm not strategizing. Doesn't work for me. I played it at the beginning a lot, and then they changed it, and then I didn't get back into it.
Is it because the NPCs got harder?
No, I just too many decks.
Oh, okay.
I just
Well, then guess
lost
what? There's going to be
overview.
another one.
Oh, well. Happy times. Great. I am frolicking. I guess it's really nice for people to play TOT, but I'm too stupid. I'm too Nord for this. Not real life. I love cold and I'm stupid. That's exactly right. And I'm durable.
All right, next article. We're going to learn more about the new Saint Alessia patron deck in the dev Q&A. Alrighty. Crazy, would you like to read one?
Oh, wow, that was good timing. I didn't know if you saw that I said be right back, but I literally just sat down when you said crazy, would I like to read one? The only problem is I have no idea what you're talking about.
Tales of Tribute article. Tales of Tribute
Oh.
article.
I can do that. Hold please. Let me get that pulled up. Saint Alessia deck. Okay. Join us as one of the principal developers behind Tales of Tribute breaks down the mechanics of the new deck and patron arriving alongside Update 42 and the Gold Road. With the upcoming launch of Gold Road and Update 42, an all-new patron is joining the roster in Tales of Tribute, Saint Alessia. We reached out to one of the developers of Tamriel's popular card game, senior systems designer John Carlson, to learn more about the design and mechanics of this latest set. Oh, so this is a Q&A. Okay, here we go. Hello, John. What kind of experience might a player expect while playing the new Alessia deck? With Alessia, players should look forward to piloting a deck composed of almost entirely agents with choice abilities. This should result in a strategic play experience with lots of incremental advantages. Can you break down the features and mechanics being introduced with the new Saint Alessia cards? Saint Alessia introduces the first of their kind agent cards with choice abilities to the game. Each turn, an agent remains in play, and you may pick from one of two different abilities. To ensure that Alessia's opponents aren't completely overwhelmed against an onslaught of agents, we've also included a new ability titled Knock Out All, which, as its name implies, KOs all agents currently in play. But be warned, this will also include your own. This patron offers an abundance of choice for various scenarios. What would you say your design goals were when approaching this new set? We wanted to provide players with more varieties of agent cards that weren't KO on sight level threats. Many agents from other patron decks must be removed the turn they are played to prevent falling behind. Most of St. Alessia's agents are easier to remove and have smaller effects. As the player gradually amasses several agents together, the army begins to pose a significant threat. So this deck's strength lies in numbers. Tell us, throughout plays testing, which patrons have you found to be St. Alessia's strongest and weakest matchups? Additionally, are there any patrons that she pairs particularly well with? Like I said, Alessia's agents are easy to pick off one at a time, so patrons with excessive amounts of power, such as St. Pellin and Hermaeus Mora, can take them out while racing ahead. To compensate for this shortcoming, St. Alessia players might consider tagging in Regine for some durable agents with taunt. I also recommend teaming up with Druid King to make use of other agents with trigger abilities to clench out the win. What was it about St. Alessia that made her the perfect choice for this new deck's patron? St. Alessia has long been a fan favorite, and with the latest chapter taking place in the southern region of Cyrodiil known as the Westweald, we felt this was the perfect opportunity to show the Mother of the Empire the love she deserves. But before we part ways, can you remind players how they might acquire the full Tales of Tribute set? Players must fully explore the new Westweald zone and combine all 5 fragments to unlock the complete deck. Good luck. We'd like to thank John for taking the time to discuss the forthcoming update to Tales of Tribute. As John mentioned, you can come across scattered fragments of the new St. Alessia set by adventuring throughout the bountiful countryside of Westweald during the upcoming Gold Road chapter. So they give us some example cards here too in the article, which are just beautiful. That Priestess of the Eight card, the artwork is really pretty.
Yeah, the artwork on the TOT cards is always really pretty.
Yeah, I have loved some of these. This sounds like a really interesting deck. Just a deck basically of agents. Like, ooh, that White Strix card is cool too.
Yeah.
That's a great
It gives
card.
me ideas I don't like.
It gives you ideas that you're like, I don't have time for this.
I don't have the money for this.
Yeah, that too. So we'll be sure to have.
Do you want to make the White Strake armor?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I have another plan for. Yeah. Never mind. Now is news time, not cosplay time.
Oh man. So we'll make sure to have this one linked so that you can look at some of the artwork that we're talking about, as well as read a little bit more about the deck if you'd like to. So we'll have that linked in our show notes. All right. Scribing? Is that what we're on to?
Scribbing.
Yes.
Scribbing. No.
Scribbling.
Scribbling. That's what it's gonna feel like, is scribbling.
Yeah, just scribble some stuff on paper.
Scribbling with my handcrafted abilities.
I imagine when you craft the abilities, you're not writing in your tome for weapon abilities, but you're writing on your sword with a permanent marker or something.
Yeah, it's something that you can erase later. Yeah, I guess.
Burn my enemies better, thanks.
Can you imagine? You just take out a pen and it's like squeaking across the metal as you're writing with a permanent marker.
Exactly.
Frost.
But it's not oil because
Frost damage. No, I'm just.
PLS.
Oh goodness. Oh man. Never. Did you read anything yet? Would you like to, or would you like? Shall I read again, or I don't know.
I can try. If you don't mind enduring my very congested sounding voice for all of this.
Well, it's okay. It's
Oh,
kind of long. It's not super long, but if you need a tag out, just holler.
Like this. Ah!
Yeah, sure. That's
Okay.
it.
Just check. I'll
will
make
end
sure.
stream, please.
All right. So this article's kind of some of the developers talking about their favorite abilities. It says, discover how the new scribing system's own developers are utilizing the Gold Road feature to create custom abilities. Arriving as part of the Elder Scrolls Online Gold Road chapter, landing June 3rd and June 18th for PC and consoles, respectively. The scribing system allows you to create your own custom-made abilities from a variety of initial options called grimoires, be it to better serve a specific role, increase overall strength or utility, or create new opportunities for roleplay. This system grants you the power to further tailor your build to your heart's content. But how will ESO's developers make use of scribing when the Gold Road chapter launches in June? We reached out to a few key members of the development team behind the new system and asked them for their favorite custom-made abilities. Now, because there's names involved, apologies if I butcher them. But the combat designer, Gilliam, as someone who spends a lot of their time tinkering and iterating, I have a hard time picking favorites, especially from this system. That said, I am particularly fond of the Elemental Explosion Grimoire, as it leans heavily into the super powerful mage archetype where you cast a high-risk, high-reward spell with a longer commitment time. Due to this high amount of commitment, it changes how I view many combat encounters, where I need to plan and adapt to opportunistic moments to activate and land it. Being able to charge up a super powerful area effect attack that rewards thoughtful activation and placement deals a really satisfying feeling that you can't get with a lot of other abilities. Pairing this, or it says repelling explosion, pairing this with knockback focus turns it into an ultra satisfying disruption tool, letting chaos abound, which brings me some simple joy and lots of laughs. Tack on the War Mage's defense signature for a scaling damage shield based on the number of targets I hit, and the cowardice affix to reduce the unlucky victim's weapon and spell damage, and I can now tank plenty of damage from all the aggro it'll generate from the people I've displaced in PvP. Cullen Lee, Senior Systems Designer. One of the grimoires I'm most excited for is Soul Burst, which you earn at the end of the scribing questline. This unleashes a powerful burst of soul magic around you, providing an instant point-blank area of effect. Simple and flexible. When I'm playing Infinite Archive on my Necromancer tank and things get hectic, sometimes I'll spot an Infuser about to empower their buddies and I'll struggle to target them with a bash in time. So I'm really excited for the interrupt affix. Even if an Infuser tries to hide behind their friends, I can still easily interrupt their cast thanks to Soul Burst's 8-meter radius. Shocking Burst. For signatures, I'm a big fan of the Necromancer class mastery script. This increases your magicka, stamina, and health based on the number of nearby corpses. Wow. And if you don't have any nearby corpses, it'll make one instead. Once we've killed each wave of enemies, I can use their corpses to empower myself for the next group before gobbling them up for ultimate with necrotic potency. For the focus, I've been keeping it simple with shock damage, but I do find the immobilize script tempting. I'll probably bounce back and forth at least a few more times before I make up my mind. Caleb Knopfsinger, Senior QA Tester 2. Traveling Knife. Simply put, you toss out a knife toward the enemy and it returns to the player, hitting your foes on the way back. This could be a great way to apply debuffs to multiple enemies, something dual-wield abilities traditionally don't do. I use it on my Dragon Knight, having it deal poison damage as my focus with Wayfarer's Mastery signature and Minor Berserk affix. I chose poison damage because it plays well into Dragon Knight as a baseline. The Wayfarer's Mastery Ruffian signature is stronger than you might realize. It boosts my damage when using rending slashes and rapid strikes, but it also increases the damage of my allies who are using dual wield while it is active. Venomous Knife. This all completely changes how my build is set up. I went from using Stone Giant as a spammable to rapid strikes and got considerable DPS increase. Putting Minor Berserk on the ability also opened up the opportunity for me to swap out Camouflage Hunter with Torchbearer Sweep, another scribed ability, and still have those all-important bonuses and passives active without any overlap. Radical Alexander, Animator. I chose the Grimoire Shield Throw, which launches your shield at your enemy and deals physical damage. When animating this particular skill, I wanted to create the sense of the full body of motion required when literally hurling a shield at your enemies, and it makes me feel like Captain America. Because it's awesome to bounce your shield around a bunch of enemies, I picked Multi-Target as the signature and added Lingering Torment as the focus with Cowardice as the affix. Lingering Torment uses your weapon's enchantment to deal more damage, along with adding damage over time. This in turn allows the sword and board playstyle to have some mid-range damage threat. Shattering Throw. Cowardice works well with the close range nature of sword and board fighting, lowering the enemy's threat. Pairing that with the shields in the weapon's skill line makes for an extremely tanky character. I also use this with the Torix Pact item set so that it procs weapon enchantments more often. That's interesting. Of course, these are just some of the unique combinations you can try with the new scribing system, and we hope this inspires you to try out different grimoires and their myriad combinations with your own builds when Gold Road launches in June. How are you going to make use of scribing? Let us know on socials. Anything stand out there?
The shield thing. As a tank player, this is game-changing, I wouldn't say, but it gives me way more variability with my damage, especially on range.
Right. And being able to, you can make that your taunt if you want. So you can have a different range taunt instead of having to use the, is it the Undaunted Interfire? Is that where that comes from?
Undaunted?
Yeah. Is it? I can't remember if that's Fighters Guild or
Innerfire is
Undaunted?
Yeah.
Undaunted.
We are
Undaunted.
Wow, that was so early in the show, but so great.
Well, Undaunted was mentioned.
Almost did it again.
But yeah, for range taunts, I usually take the silver line and then stab them a bit when they come to me. So this is a nice change of pace.
Yep, I'm looking forward to playing around with that. I don't particularly enjoy a lot of the skills in the sword and board skill line. It makes, and a lot of times I use two-handed like an ice staff tanking, just because it's more fun. And if I can get through stuff like that, I will. But being able to add something like this, I think I'll mix it up enough that it might actually make some of the combat with a sword and board a little more engaging. So I am looking forward to that. I just reading through that, some of the stuff in there, I haven't seen full breakdowns on all this stuff yet, which, I mean, they've said something about over 4,000 combinations, so obviously nobody's putting that video out. But hearing things like pairing it with Torix Pact armor to, increase the benefit of it, so it procs your weapon enchantments. That's pretty cool. Like that, already thinking about which armor sets it might benefit from, and not just skills themselves.
I like how the article keeps using all of the new language that is repeatedly that's going to be involved in scribing, so you're already kind of getting used to it before you even start seeing it in game.
Yeah, I think
The
that was very well
focus
done.
thingy and stuff. Focus, affix, and signature.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It sounds like the enchantment table to me.
Yeah,
It's
very
basically
much
the
so.
same principle.
Yeah, there's going to be some cool stuff with this, I think. That one ability, the Torchbearer Sweep, I've seen a lot of people already using that as a spammable. Well, I won't say a lot of people. I've seen a handful of people that I've watched like doing some coverage on the new skills and new builds and things like that, recommending Torchbearer Sweep because it has so many different ways that you can set it up to if you're playing as a tank to make you more tanky. If you're playing as a damage dealer, it's got some stuff that helps with your damage. So yeah, it's pretty neat, some of the stuff that I'm already seeing come out of this, even just from PTS. Of course, we'll see what comes out of the final build. But anything that y'all are particularly excited about skill wise that you've heard so far?
It's not there in the thing, but I'm excited about the knockback arrow jump over, whatever it's called.
Oh,
I can't
yeah.
remember that one.
The backflip thingy.
Yeah, the backflip thingy that they've shown multiple times. So I'm excited about that one. I can't wait to see it.
Yep.
I've tried to stay unspoiled for everything, so I didn't look into anything. That's the first thing I see about scribing. I've heard there's some skill that require soul stones, soul gems, and that's about it that I know.
Yeah.
Oh, that's probably the soul burst.
Maybe.
Does it say?
I just like that necromancers were mentioned.
Yeah.
Just
My
says
little
Magicka
necromancer
for
tank maybe
cost.
will come out of hibernation soon.
Maybe. Well, should we talk about embracing our Cyrodiilic heritage?
If you have one.
I mean,
Yes, talking about my necromancer tank.
yeah.
She's an Imperial.
Gwen's been embracing her Cyrodiilic heritage, I feel like, for months now.
Only
Question,
since last
which part of
August.
Cyrodiil?
Yeah, that's true. I guess that's true.
Are you Colovian? Are you Nibenese?
Yeah.
I've actually been learning a lot about both. I feel I know more about Nabetian, Nebenese than Colovian. Okay, so I know more about Colovian than Nebenese, but because of Varen, I like Nebenese more than Colovian.
That's why you put Varen's wall down there.
He could have hired some better builders and engineers, to be honest.
You mean he didn't? You mean just taking all the?
Era?
Do you mean just taking all the farmers and all the people from the land and just having them pick up the random rocks and stuff in their house to make a wall isn't up to build quality?
Nope. Have you seen what they did to the Imperial City walls?
Okay,
You think this measly cobblestone wall will hold them back? The masses from Cyrodiil trying to get to the Gold Coast and plunder their riches. I don't think
All
so.
right. Who wants to read Embracing the Cyrodiilic Heritage?
It doesn't matter. I can do it if you want. Okay. Westfield is a thriving hub of Imperial culture, especially within the city of Skingrad. However, it is far from the only place in ESO where Imperials play an important role. If you want to delve deeper into the culture that ruled Tamriel before the Three Banners War, here are some in-game activities you can enjoy before Gold Road launches in June. Create a new Imperial hero. If you're excited for the appearance of Imperials, you can add one to the game right now by creating your very own. Imperials have an innate access to the unique Imperial crafting motif, otherwise rare to find in the world, in addition to a racial skill line that emphasizes health, stamina, and resource sustain, making for excellent tanks. What's more, as the heirs to Cyrodiil's Tamriel-spanning empire, Imperials can be created as part of any of the three alliances. Whether your sympathies lie with Queen Irene, High King Emmerich, or Yoren the Skald King, you can support your claimant of choice. Note that making an Imperial character requires access to the Imperial Edition upgrade in the in-game Crown Store. The Imperial City is a central element and enduring symbol of Imperial rule, or it was before the Plane Meld. Now, Molag Bal's minions stalk the streets, and soldiers from each of the 3 alliances do battle with the Daedra, Worm Cult, and each other. This makes it a dangerous place to tread, but also rewarding one should you prove up to the task. You can fight across the streets and sewer tunnels in both PvE and PvP combat to claim control of the city, or delve into the city's 2 associated PvE group dungeons, Imperial City Prison and White Gold Tower. For your efforts, you'll claim esoteric and precious rewards like Telvar stones, key fragments, and unique item sets. Battle for control of Cyrodiil in PvP. If monsters and Daedra just aren't your thing, but you love battling against other players, maybe fight in the wilds of Cyrodiil beyond the Imperial City. The Alliance War rages on, and you can join the soldiers of your alliance to stake a claim to this now ungoverned territory. Perhaps you'll mount a claim to the Ruby Throne and anoint yourself Emperor. While PvP combat is a focus of Cyrodiil, it's also a great place to explore wild areas, perhaps searching for a rare Colovian war tort recipe misplaced by a master chef, or discover the lives of the local Imperial people by questing among the towns contained within this vast war zone. Meet the Imperials of Blackwood. The Colovians of Western Cyrodiil share cousins in the east, the aristocratic people of the Niben Bay region. Their history and politics play a heavy role in the Blackwood chapter. The events in Blackwood aren't required to understand the story of Gold Road, but they offer an interesting contrast to the tale in Westweald. In delving into the city of Leyawiin and the lands around it, you can find both parallels and contrasts in the culture and landscape, plus see how the Imperials there develop their own forms of independent governance with the Ruby Throne vacant. If the storyline of Blackwood draws you in, you can see more of it unfold in other locales. Group dungeons such as Black Drake Villa and the Dread Cellar are available in the Flames of Ambition and Waking Flame dungeon DLCs respectively, and also help expand the story's ties to Imperial culture and power. Join the faithful of Akatosh on the Gold Coast. The first zone to feature Colovian culture was the Gold Coast, placing the faithful of Akatosh front and center, alongside an order of shadowy assassins with a different set of priorities. The zone is part of the Dark Brotherhood DLC, and is as entangled with the foremost of the Imperial Divines and as faithful as it is with the Night Mother and Sithis. See Imperials in the provinces. Of course, Imperial characters have been central to ESO since the base game launched. The initial PvE zones and their stories focused on the 3 alliances, but that doesn't mean the Imperials were out of the picture. Former Imperial Chancellor Abner Tharn plays a key role in the main story, and he's been a fan and developer favorite thanks to his politicking and cunning from his days on the Elder Council. What's more, Imperial troops spearhead prominent deployments into Reaper's March and Bankerai. Imperial agents also have furtive expeditions seeking power or plunder in public dungeons such as Razik's Wheel and the Crimson Cove. Test your might against these warriors from the Empire and learn what it's like to fight against them as well as beside them. And ready yourself to walk the Gold Road. Cyrodiil and Imperials who have held it for generations are a key element of Tamriel and the Elder Scrolls series. Are you willing to pitch in and help with the problems that beset them in their heartland? Are you excited to delve deeper into Colovian Imperial culture? Let us know. That's kind of fun that it goes through and names all of the different, Imperial spots or Imperial DLCs that involve Imperial stuff.
All of them.
All of them. So many.
Fighting Euraxia Tarn.
Yeah,
for
right?
example. You learn a lot about Imperials there.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, you do.
It's just his half-sister, don't worry about it. I don't really care for my half-sister either, it's fine.
Oh my. Family politics, here we go.
Yep.
Oh, goodness.
Anyway, because of Gold Road and Imperial stuff, we are finally back with No More Murder Hobos, and for our lore this week, we're going to start with Varen's Wall. So, Varen's Wall you've probably already seen if you have played the Gold Coast. You can walk along it. We have seen one side of it, and now you will be able to see the other side of it once Gold Road comes out. And thank you for UESP for having this article. Varen's Wall is a ruined stone wall that is found in the Western Highlands of Clovia in the province of Cyrodiil. Varen's Wall is named after the eponymous Emperor of Cyrodiil, Varen Aquilarius, one of the many kings that ruled during the Interregnum. This wall was created to split the Gold Coast, primarily Andal and Kvatch, from the rest of the Colovian estates in the efforts to protect Varen's homeland from the powerful Imperial Legion of Emperor Leovic. The main gate of the stone wall is known as Varen's Wall Gatehouse. History of the wall. Varen's Wall was constructed during the Interregnum by the commission of Duke Varen Aquilarius of Colovia during the early years of the Colovian Revolt. It was hastily built to protect his birthplace and the original seat of power, Kvatch, from the Emperor's retaliation. Construction was administered by the well-known engineer Joros Truptor, who designed it to be built with whatever material that the workers can find throughout the region. There were many people that enlisted to help build this stone wall in a fast, efficient way, with no care for aesthetics. It was built with a variety of materials, such as stone, mismatched rocks, ruined structures, and even blocks of various noble estates. Towers were made across the wall in an irregular pattern for defense. Jaros' efforts in building the wall and obtaining more volunteers helped Varen's greater cause even more, and within a year, Varen's wall was finished, although it barred several landmarks, including Brenna River, except for the river estuary, Trumbray Fortress, and such. The wall had extended Varen's reign and continued to support the Gold Coast as far as the Three Banners War. By the time of the Oblivion Crisis, there is no sign of Varen's Wall anywhere where it once stood. Varen's Wall construction caused complications for traders and scholars of the Gold Coast and Colovian Highlands. Shrines devoted to Akatosh were constructed along Varen's Wall. As of the Second Era, 582, they were considered old constructions. Maps of the region of the Gold Coast, drawn before and after the construction of Varen's Wall, are noticeably distinct from each other and tell different tales about the land and its people. So breaking this down, more reasons why Varen Aquilarius was a terrible emperor and ruler.
My question is, why did he leave out Corol? Because he was Duke of Corol as well.
Yeah.
And he left it unprotected.
Right?
That's a good question. Makes you wonder.
Maybe he thought, because the wall is constructed in a manner that is a half C shape, and it cuts off basically those two cities. Maybe it's just choosing the smaller evil, I guess, because Corol is a bit far off from there.
Yeah. Could be.
Too much wall for too little troops to defend.
Yeah. Could be.
I mean,
go ahead.
even
Sorry.
the Romans built walls in the smallest pieces of Britain. So, yeah, I guess that's about it.
I was actually looking up Coral right now to see if it mentioned anything about that. Legion to control the Legion with Ratchet Lego. Huh.
And my comment before with the wall is insufficient or it's bad. We all know the prowess of the Imperials for sieges. For defending, for sieging, for engineering. I think the Leovic's troops would have no problem just running over those walls.
Right.
I mean, you need 2 siege towers or a ram or something and you're in.
And you're there, yeah.
Because cobblestone can be a good building material if it's 3 to 5 meters thick against sieges. Most castles here in Europe have walls about 3 to 5 or almost 10 meters thick at the base to withstand their own weight plus siege engineers' efforts to break them.
Right.
My favorite castle, for example, has the keep. The walls at the base are 5 meters thick and at the top are about 2 still. So, just for the scale of it. And the wall is I think 2 or 3 layers of stones. you can push this wall over because it's not even mortar.
Wow. That's true.
Sorry, that's my
No!
interest in
No, it's one of
fortification
those.
speaking.
No, I love it. I love it. I'm absorbing everything you're saying, and then I'm also kind of still reading here, so I'm like, oh.
You know what a really, really, really great example for medieval defenses is an ESO? Layer
Tell us.
wing. Layer
Yeah.
wing has really, really good walls, thick, high, and they have matriculations. There's wall overhangs where archers can shoot at the base of the wall.
I love how
The
you're
gate
like,
makes sense.
this is good. This is good. You're bringing in all of my important points of how I don't know. I do know. I just don't like Varen. The more I learn about him, the more he is the worst character in this game.
He should have listened to his engineers.
And this is me also like throwing in remembering that Narcissus Dren and Vivek exist.
Narcissus Dren is funny. He's funny. Varen isn't funny.
No.
Varen is not funny.
He's just sad. And
Everything about
And
Varen's
blind.
reign was rushed.
And blind. Oh,
Yes,
man.
he blindly rushed into becoming blind.
Yup.
So we are going into learning more about Colovians and everything this year with Westfield. We're going to get to actually see some non-Cyrodiilic Colovian stuff outside of just what we saw in the Gold Coast. So it's another one of those, I don't really like Colovians. Why? Because Varen is our example of Colovians. So let's see how I feel about Colovians at the end of the year after playing through Westfield. But my biases aside, for No More Murder Hobos this evening, that we have 3 questions that you get to answer for your characters. And think of it as for your characters, not necessarily your own personal biases. Question 1. What does your character think of Imperials? Do they even know there's different types of Imperials? Question 2. Do you guys want to answer these as we go this time?
Oh, I don't know. Do you want to... We can answer as we go, I guess.
I know sometimes you just start blurting out your answers, and other times we just kind of read through them.
Yeah.
My main character knows Cadwell, and you have talked with him extensively, so I think he knows there are different kinds of Cyrodiils. Cyrodiilians? Cyrodiilish?
Cyrids, technically, right? Cyrids?
Cyrid.
Is that correct?
Steered sounds correct.
Kaiserliche.
Sounds more correct.
I mean, I knew they
Because
were.
Cadwell is. I forgot which kind is. I think he's.
I think Cadwell was an alien, right? No, he wasn't an alien. He was
Need. He was a need. I think.
He was a need, technically,
He was a need.
I think.
Okay.
But
Hold
Imperial
on.
nonetheless.
We're gonna check. We're gonna check. What was Cadwell?
He is a Nedic knight.
There we go.
Yeah, but the needs count for the Imperials as well, I think. Right.
Yeah, because needs were technically the humans who, yeah, they're like the first era humans.
Okay.
By the way, I have an unfinished Cadwell cosplay in my case.
Oh my goodness. You gotta finish that. That would be amazing.
I was so desperate because of the helmet, so I stopped. But I used the pens I made for him for my lord.
Oh, okay.
Well, your weapons are easy, right? You just go to your kitchen,
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
get like a fork and a pot, and
Needs
Yes.
include the Proto-Cyrodiilians and the ancestors of the Bretons.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Close
So,
enough.
yeah.
So that's why I was like, oh.
Oh no, I got logged out. Ah!
Somebody did.
By the way,
remove
I
their
hope
camera.
we will get the Colovian fur helmet.
Oh, I hope so too.
I want to this thing in real life, but I don't know how to felt.
Okay, I'm coming. I'm logging back in now. Sorry, everybody.
I will say
I was-
I did. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I was too invested in UESP. I forgot to move my controller.
This is what happens when we are actively lore seeking. We forget to play the game.
Right.
I logged out ages ago because idle.
True.
Yeah, so I was going to answer the second half of your first question, knowing if there the characters know if there are even different types. My answer to that is yes. I've gotten multiple of those in like login rewards and stuff. I think so. The different types of imps.
Wow. Not the same.
My Arcanist actually was a legionary in my mind.
Oh.
Okay.
With I think the 10th? I think I wrote it down somewhere. Because there are, I think, 10 legions in Cyrodiil. Plus the I don't know what's called in English, the Zero Legion. In German it's die Nullte Legion. The deserters who change their colors to Molag Bal
Oh, okay.
in the Imperial City.
Yep. Interesting.
He was
So
a
did you-
legionary.
Okay, so he was, and then he found his tome, and then he became a...
Exactly.
Got
That's
it.
cool.
That's why he's a marshal with some magic.
Cool. I love that.
So
And
how
now
did he
he's
find his
doing
tome?
Hermeus Mora's bidding.
Did he find his tome, like,
in
out
my-
on a...
To be fair, he's not the nicest guy, so probably while plundering.
Imperial soldiers at war? That makes sense.
Yep. It's true. Alright, what's next on the murder hobo docket?
Does your character enjoy Imperial cities? Which ones and why?
I think I answered this already. I like Leia.
Does our
My
little
lore too,
Nightblade Wood
because-
Elf enjoy Leowyn because of that bell tower?
Yes. Yeah, that, and I just like the layout of the city itself. And one of my favorite main houses, Water's Edge, is there. So, I love Leowyn. I love the city itself. I love the layout. I love the crafting area. I just love Leowyn.
One tangent for this. I didn't like it in Oblivion. Not because of the city itself, but the interiors look too modern.
Yeah, I would agree.
Is Nocturnal
like
Shrine
an
in
Unveil.
this... Okay.
Sorry?
I was like, is Nocturnal Shrine in the same place in Oblivion as it is in ESO?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Oh, that's
believe so.
great. Oh, this is gonna be great. I'm excited
Yeah.
for this.
Just a funny thing I found out. My game in Oblivion glitched out a bit while I was at Nocturnal. I was standing, I was talking to the NPC, but my character was somehow at the statue. Like, problem was they modeled Nocturnal, and you know the dress of Nocturnal. I mean, free boobies.
Yeah, right?
I was like, okay, Oblivion, chill.
Yes, Nocturnal looks very different in Oblivion than she does in our game currently.
Yeah. A bit more modest.
a bit more modest. Oh my. Oh my.
Okay. Was not prepared. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I thought it was gonna
me
be the same
neither.
outfit,
No.
but now I'm prepared.
Nope. Yeah. Some of the Daedra look a little different in Oblivion than they do.
Hermamora is so funny.
He looks like a big crab with.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, anyway. Has your
Anyway,
character
moving
been to the Imperial City? before, during, or after the war, and for what purpose?
As I said, my Arcanist was Imperial Legionary, so he was there. My main
Yep,
has
you were-
never been there, so...
Because your main's
others
a
are
Nord,
not that
right?
elaborate. Yeah, my Nord. Funny thing, he's called Raymond in game, but in my headcanon he's called Yorek. I just didn't want to cash out to change the name. Because
like
that's
it.
the character I have since start of the game, 10 years ago.
Wow. That's cool.
And of course he was in the Imperial City for clobbering stuff, so
Right.
during the war he is there.
My main has definitely been to the Imperial City. I would say during the war. I haven't really thought of this one that much. I think probably for me, it was because of wanting to get to the center, for the simulacrum with Molag Bal. So, like, that was my purpose, is to go there because I want to investigate the center due to the chains coming down and whatnot. And also because, I mean, technically it's like there's so much knowledge that could be there that's being lost. So I would think that if she was going, she would also be trying to recover some of the lost knowledge or the lore that would be there in the city. That's kind of...
Scavenging the Imperial.
Oh, you must love
Yeah.
that one daily quest where it's the little annoyed high elf who's trying to get all the documents and everything put together so there isn't questions about stuff after the war.
Oh man, yeah, that one will get you. That's the one that I always get ganked doing.
So
Kicking the depth papers into the fire.
Yep, exactly.
yeah, my main has also been to the Imperial City. And if I was to give a reason why, I mean, outside of stating things like because event quests, I would say one of the reasons that I specifically went to the Imperial City was to bring back tools that could be of use to my guild. Because they have in like 3 different locations these special crafting tools to create armor and weapons that are not available anywhere else in the world. So I brought them back to use at the guild retreat. So they're accessible to anyone that might be able to make use of them.
Cool. As a craftsman, I can appreciate that.
That's a good one. That's a good way to explain what you are doing in the game. Love it.
Save the
I love
enchanted
that.
tools.
I have
Really
also
nice touch.
ventured into Cyrodiil, although that might not have all been on my main, but I've also ventured into Cyrodiil to acquire tools from that area that are also unique to those 3 locations for crafting armor and weapons. So those that are afraid to venture into places that their fellow wanderers might attack them, they don't have to.
Quite the feat, considering how hard it is to open the workshops in Cyrodiil.
Yeah, plan accordingly. Oh, look, we already have that
I
area.
know.
Yep. For sure.
My main was in Cyrodiil as well, but mainly to vanquishing anchors. So.
All right. Man, does this actually bring us to the end of the show?
Wow.
It is.
2.5
Already?
hours in?
A mere 2.5 hours later.
When we started the show, my wife was still awake.
Mine is hopefully still asleep.
All right. Well, this has been fun.
been amazing.
Yeah, hopefully for those who are either with us now or are listening back to this later, you'll be able to take some of this and maybe get some inspiration for your own cosplay, get some insight into some medieval like armor and weapons and castles and a lot of cool stuff tonight that we've kind of gotten into. Maybe not even intentionally, but it's just where it goes. It was fun. So, as we've already stated, we are all members of the Lore Seekers Guild. Most of us, all of us except, well, Ryman, do you play on PlayStation also, or just PC?
Only PC.
Okay.
PC EU.
Okay. So, the regular three of us are all on PlayStation. And all three of them, excluding me, are on PC. So if you want to come hang out with us, then you can do that. You can come and, excuse me, still struggling with the whole nasal thing. You could come and, sign up to be a lore seeker. All you have to do is head over to loreseekers.club. There's links for everything you need there. You'll need Discord to sign up, and there's just a little brief application. Fill that out, send that in, and we will get that reviewed. And usually within a day or two, we get you accepted into the guild, and somebody will get you in the game too. Specifically, if you play on PlayStation and are looking for some things to do with the guild, we've got a couple of things that we do throughout the week, each week. Starting with Mondays with Moki, that is fishing or Cyrodiil or sometimes a whole host of other things, just fun stuff. That is 8 p.m. Eastern. You can come hang out. Usually start grouping up around 7:30, and Moki's a great host and has done a lot to get people different achievements, and so come hang out and you can do that. There's no super casual. No level requirements or anything, unless they may be going into an area that requires you have to be like a Cyrodiil thing or something. But Treacherous Tuesdays, currently there's no times on that, but that's just our day to say, try to do some dungeons today, group up with guildies, go do lore runs or speed runs or gear farming or any of that kind of stuff you're wanting to do. Tuesdays kind of the day we say, do that today. Go make a point to do that today. You could just head to the Discord and find some guildies to go do that with. And then lastly, we have Fearless Friday with Arthuria Dragoon. That is at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern time as well. And that is an Undaunted event. Undaunted?
Undaunted?
Undaunted.
We are
Undaunted.
Undaunted.
Yes.
For the second time this show.
Flawless.
So,
Flawless.
Do you know how long I've been looking for this?
so come hang out, do some Undaunted dailies, delve quests, and it's a good time. And yep, so that's pretty much it. If you want to find us on social media, you can do that. Would someone like to inform our viewers / listeners where they can find us?
May I interject?
Yes.
We have the European part of the guild also has events and stuff.
Yes, tell us what the PCEU Lore
I
Seekers
don't have
do.
them at hand, but there are things like World Boss Wednesday where guildies meet up to run world bosses in different zones. We have Dungeon Thursdays where, we run dungeons, and you can always find some of our people running the zones or being somewhere on the servers. And if you need help with farming gear and stuff, hit us up, even on the European servers. Someone is always there, or you can ask at on the Discord. So the European part is now here too, and can say, we have events too, yay!
Yeah,
Yep.
and you
So-
also have Monday tributes, right? Usually with Forby. They
That's
do
it.
like
I've never been there myself because I'm a bit
The
time
World
is
Boss
short Mondays. World Boss Wednesday.
Wednesday. That is
Yes.
ridiculously consistent, and it would be at 2 p.m. EST.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Is this Discord?
Yeah, so it's showing World Boss Wednesday, and it's showing me 3 p.m. my time.
Oh, okay.
Then
Okay.
it's
So maybe
yeah,
it's
that's
2
right,
p.m. my
because
time.
it's 2 p.m. your time. Then
Yep.
Dungeon Thrill Thursdays, 3 p.m. Eastern. Then Casual Housing Tours, it's listed on the date and the times. Tribute Monday Mania, which is Monday at 3. And then Sparky Bagman, who plays on NA and EU somehow and is so amazing. We love Sparky. Is doing casual trials on Saturday. And I don't think those are every Saturday. I think they're just on some Saturdays, right? And that's at 2 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah, I have seen them rather seldom happen, but
Yeah, I
I'm
think
not
it's like once a month.
online all the time, so.
Yeah. So, and then the only other thing that we do, or one of the other things that we do, we actually do multi-platform altogether, and that is our lore taverns that we do, because there's a lot of EU friends that participate whenever we do the lore taverns as well. So that's cool, because that's a multi-platform event across everything, and we've been doing them at sometime between noon and 2 p.m. Eastern right now, so when we can usually get them together.
And at this point, shout out and a little question for 4x2ly. 4x2ly is currently resetting up our guild house because our old guild house leader is not in the game anymore. They left a while back, and now she's collecting for the new crafting stations, and is still in need of help for writs to get all the attunable crafting stations. So if you got any writs and materials and maybe a bit of money to spare, send them. If you are on PC EU, it would be great if you could send some over to 4x2 Live of the Lore Seekers, if you have.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's so great that she's taking the initiative there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she's
that's
doing
fantastic.
a lot of work. Because the master stations are not cheap, and to
Oh,
fill
we
them up
are
with all the
aware.
crafting stations is an endeavor in of itself. I try to contribute as much as I can, but I have no writs left,
Yeah.
master writs. So if you've got anything and they are rotting in your bank, just send them over. If you're in the Law Seekers Guild, this would be greatly appreciated.
Aw.
Well, if I may offer a suggestion uh, as to where to start, Cyrodiil and Imperial City, and there's another area that you have to do something before you can get into it. I can't remember what it
The
is.
dragon, the dragon
Dragon
guard.
Guard.
Is it the
Rothgar.
dragon
The Dragon
guard?
Guard
Yeah.
Sanctum.
And Rothgar, you have to do
Yes.
a quest or two to get into the crafting
Yeah,
thingy.
yeah.
Yep.
Those are good ones to get first, just because not everybody can go to those. Because they're
We got them in the old guild house, but we can't take them out. So she
Right.
just collects the new ones and then stocks up on the new ones, so we can close this guild house down and get into the new one. If I have understood this correctly.
Oh my.
Yeah, it's a big undertaking. Every time a new chapter
Yeah.
releases, there's new sets to go get too. It's a lot. You got to really,
It is actually daunting.
yeah,
Yeah.
it is daunted.
Yeah, right.
That's why big shout out to 4x2ly. She's doing a great job.
For sure.
Cool.
All right.
Wow.
So where can we be found?
You can follow us on X at Snugpod Cast. If you'd like to send us a review, send us a question, just say hello. You can also reach out to us at our email at snugpodcast@gmail.com. And hopefully, maybe you're either here with us or you're watching a replay, perhaps on one of our two channels where you could do that, which would be twitch.tv/snugpodcast or on YouTube, You can search for Snugpod Cast, and you should be able to find us. But if they don't want to do that, and you'd rather have us piping into your ears, I guess while you're at work or driving in the car or wherever people listen to podcasts these days, you can also find us on most of the podcatchers of your choice out there on the internet. Yeah.
Yep. And Ryman, where can they find you?
You can find me on several social media platforms, twitter.com/RymanCosplay or instagram.com/RymanCosplay. I have some stuff on DeviantArt. I have a really, really outdated Facebook page, Tumblr, YouTube, Twitch. I sometimes stream my crafting stuff. I try to get back into streaming ESO at some point. Yeah, but the time is a bit lacking for this. So let's see when this happens. But I would be happy if you check out my cosplay stuff. That's the main thing I do. And if you have any questions at all, considering you want to, how do you get to start cosplay? My profession is with leather and metal, so it's a bit niche, but I can get all the information you need somehow. Just ask me, and yeah, I will try my best to help you.
That's awesome.
Amazing.
All right. Well, we've got links for your Twitter and Instagram. We'll link those in our show notes as well. So if you want to go check Ryman out, you could just simply pull up the show notes on the audio format, and they will be there. Just an easy click of a link. So.
And you should follow him on Instagram because his stories, the works in progress, are pretty cool.
So cool.
Thank you.
Well, thanks for coming, man. It's been really fun.
Yeah, it's been amazing.
Thank you so much for having me. It was really fun. I'm sorry if I was a bit interruptive or something. It's a bit like I'm.
That's just part of the
I call
podcast.
it a twitchy speaker. Brain thinks, mouth must talk.
We're the same way, so don't feel bad. Hey, that's always the challenge when you have more than one person on a show, right? When you've got 4 people or 6 people or 3 people, whatever, talking together, there's almost always somebody that always steps on each other's toes, so it's all good.
And before you know it, it's almost 3 hours later.
Yeah, I know. This is the longest show that we've done in a while, so here we are. We're trying to do Tales of Tamriel status there. That's
This is getting into like patch note territory.
Really.
This is why we don't do patch notes, because they'd all be like this.
So true. So true.
All right.
Wow.
Well,
I took out on a lot of tangents, so.
I loved it. It was great.
Yeah, I mean, this will be an episode somebody can listen to over multiple commutes. You know, it's good. That's how a lot of my podcast listening goes. Is I'll start one and drive back and forth to work 2 or 3 times before I'm actually done with it. So, and I have a 30-minute commute.
I will probably not listen to it because I can't stand my own voice.
Well, you were here live, so.
Yeah.
That's
right.
Yeah, you already know what happened.
Yeah, you already know what happened. You didn't have to listen to this week's.
So, yeah, no problem. All right. Well, I think that's going to wrap us up. Does anybody have anything else before we close?
Not for me.
Blood for the pact.
No.
Oh my.
I shall defend my queen till my fur falls off.
Oh man.
That can be arranged.
You're gonna be in his next leather working project if you're not careful now.
Nice. All right, everybody. Well, thanks for hanging out with us, however you've chosen to do so. And until next time, which will probably be next week, but we'll see. But until next time, have a good week. Take care of yourself, take care of others, and we will see you next time.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Sleep well, Tamriel.